Chapter 770. 3 years flashed by. The Mage Imperial Universe had been attacking for 3 years. However, the ancient divine formation at the Zen Mountain was unbreakable. The semi-god realm warriors had been attacking for 3 years. However, when their attacks reached the white haze, it was like mud flowing into the sea. Not even a ripple was stirred up. The semi-god realm warriors of the Mage Imperial Universe had given up a long time ago. As far as they could tell, the crippled Zen Master had already obtained the Wicked Bead. He must have taken control of the Wicked Bead by now. It was impossible for them to take it back. It had been 3 years. They were afraid that the Mage Imperial Universe was in trouble. After all, there was no semi-god realm warrior. If other universes were to invade, their foundation would be destroyed. The Mage Imperial Universe was strong. That being said, there was a Divine Imperial Universe that was stronger. The Divine Imperial Universe had a publicly acknowledged, most powerful warrior of the 9 universes, the Master of the Divine Imperial Universe. If the Divine Imperial Universe were to invade the Mage Imperial Universe and take everything they had, the Divine Imperial Universe would be devastated. Therefore, after some discussion, Wu Guangda and the others decided to go back to the Mage Imperial Universe and quit the fight for the Wicked Bead. If the ancient divine formation at the Zen Mountain could not be cracked after 3 years, then they wouldn't be able to do it even after 30 years. Staying here was pointless. The warriors of the Mage Imperial Universe came fast and left fast as well. In a day, they were all gone. The families of the Central Imperial Universe were relieved to receive the news. They took over the City of Chaos at once and sealed the teleportation formation to the purgatory of primordial chaos. Inqingxi had come out from cultivation. She received the news and went to the riverside to find Lu Li at once. She wanted to tell him. Inqingxi had blossomed after 3 years. She was like a flower that was about to blossom. Now, she was in full bloom. Every move she made could enchant people. The only pity was her eyes. There was no light in them. They were empty, which took away some of the charm from her stunning looks. She stood by the riverside and used psychic power to check where Lu Li was. She noticed something strange. Lu Li was surrounded by a gust of wind. The gust of wind would take the shape of strange objects. Sometimes, it would take the shape of a small beast. Sometimes, it would take the shape of a tree, swaying left and right. Sometimes, it would take the shape of a flower blooming. Could this be the origin, true meaning? Inqingxi's pretty face was filled with astonishment. It was easy for her to use the xian-qi of heaven and earth to condense all kinds of things. She was able to condense the shadows of giant beasts. However, the small beast that Lu Li generated was like a living creature, and the tree seemed to be alive. If it weren't an illusion, Inqingxi would have thought it was a real tree, and the flower in full bloom was like a real flower in full bloom. It seemed like Lu Li's control over the wind had reached an unprecedented level. In his hands, the wind had become a living thing, not just an element. After a while, Lu Li opened his eyes. He could sense Inqingxi's arrival through the wind that was everywhere around him. He looked at Inqingxi and saw that she was wearing an emerald green dress, standing on the bamboo path. She was so beautiful. His eyes became slightly intoxicated, but he quickly sobered up. There was no doubt that Inqingxi was a girl that could move men's hearts. But Lu Li dared not to have any feelings for her. Inqingxi's identity was not ordinary. The crippled Zen Master's power made Lu Li shrink back. Also, in the purgatory of primordial chaos, he had told himself that he could not fall in love with any girl. He was not qualified to do so. Lung Wuxin's slap in the forbidden ground of Elder God had taught him who he was. He had to be cold-blooded and merciless in order to go back alive. In the deserted world, there was a group of people waiting for his return. Inqingxi sensed the intoxication in Lu Li's eyes. She felt a bit bitter. Which girl didn't yearn for love? Who didn't fantasize about love? It was not easy for her to meet a man that she admired, but she could not have any feelings for him. Inevitably, Inqingxi felt bitter. Lu Li, the warriors of the Mage Imperial Universe have left. Inqingxi walked over and said, But the City of Chaos is now under the control of the Central Imperial Universe. If you're in a hurry to go to the purgatory of primordial chaos, I can try to communicate with them. What? Lu Li's eyes sharpened. His calm mind was disturbed. There were still 3 years before the 4 families would invade the northern desert and the Clouds Plains. But what if the 4 families changed their minds? If he could go back earlier, he would go as soon as possible. He stood up and said, "Qingxi, I am in a hurry to go to the purgatory of primordial chaos. Please talk to the families. It's okay if you can't reach an agreement. I will find a way to make them compromise." Sure, Qingxi nodded. She summoned a few servants and gave them some orders. The servants left in a hurry. The crippled Zen master had no intention of fighting for hegemony. Qingxi had established the Tsing-Yi cabinet out of boredom. There were branches in many cities. It was not a major force, but it was easy for her to get things done. It was clear that the crippled Zen master would not help Lu Li. Therefore, Qingxi was not confident. She could only try to negotiate and see if she could send Lu Li out of the Central Imperial Universe. When Qingxi's message was delivered to the Feng family and the Qi family, the 2 families became lively. Over the years, the families had developed a deep-seated hatred for Lu Li. Now, Qingxi wanted them to let Lu Li go and let him leave the Central Imperial Universe. Qingxi's identity was unusual. She was a descendant of the crippled Zen master. The 2 families had to take her words seriously. So many semi-god realm warriors of the Mage Imperial Universe had been bombarding the Zen Mountain for several years. Yet, the formation was still intact. The crippled Zen master was already a powerful man. Who dared to offend him? That being said, from Qingxi's words, people sensed something different. This was not the crippled Zen master's idea. Otherwise, Qingxi would not have used a tone of discussion and request, but a direct order. Would the Feng family and the Qi family dare to disobey the crippled Zen master's order? Since it was not the crippled Zen master's idea, people had other ideas. Qingxi was not a real descendant of the crippled Zen master. She was just an adopted girl. The crippled Zen master wouldn't mind, even if they didn't show respect to her. A group of people gathered in the city of Feng, arguing about whether they should show respect to Qingxi and let Lu Li go. In the end, they could not suppress their hatred and killing intent. Lu Li had caused so many deaths at the Central Imperial Universe. If they let Lu Li go, it would be hard for them to overcome their inner demons. The result of the discussion was out. Feng family and Qi family progenitors decided to come to the Zen Valley in person to visit the crippled Zen master. If the crippled Zen master gave the order, they would not make things difficult for Lu Li. If the crippled Zen master didn't want to help Lu Li, then they would have to let Qingxi go. When the 2 families sent word that their progenitors would come to visit the crippled Zen master, Qingxi forced a smile and said to Lu Li, who was sitting next to her, "The 2 families didn't show me any respect. Our progenitor will not help you. Lu Li, how about you stay here for a while? I will think of something later." "No need." Lu Li shook his head. Qingxi had helped him enough. It was better for him to deal with the matter on his own. He took out the wicked bead after some thoughts. He went in, and the bead flew up in a blur. Lu Li circled around in the sky and then flew down again. Qingxi controlled the inhibition formation to let Lu Li come in. Buzzing, Lu Li came out from the wicked bead. He said with excitement, "Qingxi, since the 2 families don't want to let it go, then I will go and play with them until they admit defeat." The wicked bead didn't disappoint Lu Li. Its speed had reached the semi-god realm, and it should be faster than average semi-god realm warriors. Therefore, Lu Li didn't have to worry too much. At the very least, he was undefeatable. P.S. The wicked bead is in a mess. He will try to adjust himself. Let's just wait and see. Chapter 771. Lu Li could do nothing if the semi-god realm warriors of the Mage Imperial Universe refused to leave. But it was a different story for the semi-god realm warriors of the Central Imperial Universe. This was the territory of the Central Imperial Universe. Those families all had disciples here. unless they sent all of their families to their ancestral lands. Luli could make them yield and compromise. The wicked bead was as fast as a semi-god realm warrior, even faster than the average ones. Not many could catch up with the wicked bead. More importantly, Luli noticed that during the years he lived in the Zen Valley, the energy in the wicked bead was increasing rapidly. In other words, the wicked bead could absorb energy from heaven and earth automatically. At first, the wicked bead only had 30 to 40% of energy left. Now it had more than half. Even if a group of semi-god realm warriors were chasing after it, it could last for at least half a year. Therefore, Luli decided to leave. The crippled Zen master would not help him. He could not put Qingxi in a difficult position. He would not feel comfortable owing her too much. Qingxi, I need to go now. I will come and say goodbye to you when I have to leave. Luli thought about it and said, Actually, my home is not in the purgatory of primordial chaos. It is in the inferno, the lowest level. It is connected to a small universe. I'm going home. Qingxi was surprised. She opened her cherry lips and said in surprise, You broke into the prison of gold from the inferno alone. I didn't barge in. Luli forced a smile. As a matter of fact, I was captured by Lung Wuxin. My family is waiting for me. That is why I am in a hurry. Yes. Qingxi nodded. Go ahead. Don't force yourself. If you need help, contact me from the Tsing cabinet. Luli gazed at Qingxi. He said no more words of thanks. He flew the wicked bead away in a blur. Inferno? Looking at where the wicked bead flew to, Qingxi could not help but exclaim, The inferno is connected to a small universe, right? It is a miracle that such a small universe can give birth to such a talent. But such a shame. After Luli left the Zen Mountain, he flew toward the Feng dynasty at once. He did not fly the wicked bead to its top speed. He flew toward the city of Feng at the speed of an Earth immortal realm warrior. The reappearance of the wicked bead soon caught the attention of the scouts. When the scouts sent the news to the city of Feng, the city was in an uproar. They had thought that the crippled Zen master had taken the wicked bead. Now that he had shown up again, could it be that the crippled Zen master was coming to the city of Feng in the wicked bead? However, the crippled Zen elder never left the Zen Valley. Furthermore, they were going to the Zen Valley soon. Why did the crippled Zen elder come to the city of Feng? After some speculation, they came to a conclusion. The wicked bead was still in Luli's hands. Upon reaching this conclusion, the Central Imperial Universe warriors that had given up hope became excited. The crippled Zen master did not care about Luli. Did it mean that there was still hope for them to get the wicked bead? Thinking of the fact that Qingxi had sent someone to plead for leniency, the crowd became more excited. It was Qingxi who was helping Luli, not the crippled Zen master. The semi-god realm warriors of the Mage Imperial Universe had been bombarding the Zen Mountain for 3 years, but the crippled Zen master never did anything. The death of the Infinity was not known to the Central Imperial Universe. Therefore, Feng family and Qi family came to another bold conclusion. Was the crippled Zen master dead? Otherwise, given his temper, he would have started a war with the semi-god realm warriors of the Mage Imperial Universe. Greed could always blind people's hearts. A sliver of luck could lead many to an abyss. The wicked bead flew toward the city of Feng of its own accord. The warriors were fired up. Feng family and Qi family progenitors discussed for half a day before they made up their minds. They decided to send someone to intercept the wicked bead and see if it was Luli or the crippled Zen master in the wicked bead. The two families and the major families of the Central Imperial Universe didn't send any semi-god realm warriors. They didn't even send anyone. Instead, they sent 3 Earth immortal realm warriors from one of the major families to intercept the wicked bead. The 3 teleported out and stopped the wicked bead outside a city at the northwest of the Feng dynasty. They whooshed up from the city and surrounded the wicked bead. One of them said, "This is the Feng dynasty. Leave now, or we will deem it as an invasion." Luli stopped the wicked bead. From a man's words, Luli sensed something. Clearly, the 3 of them were here to find out who had the wicked bead. Luli didn't want to borrow the crippled Zen master's name. He shouted, "I have invaded the Feng dynasty many times. If you're not convinced, come and fight me." Luli, hearing Lu Li's voice, the three of them were filled with killing intent. They launched all kinds of attacks at the wicked bead. Ha! Luli sped up the wicked bead to the top of its speed. He dashed through the gap between the three and vanished from their sight in an instant. The three looked at each other. They gathered together and looked into the distance, speechless. When did the wicked bead become so fast? Not even average semi-god realm warriors could catch up with it. Whoosh! Before the three of them could react, the wicked bead had flown back in a blur. The wicked bead dashed to the three directly. When they came to their senses and were about to run, several dragons of wind came out from the bead. As the feather wind appeared, the three hugged their heads and howled in pain. Then they fell down. The wicked bead glowed as 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors came out and attacked the three. Boom, boom, boom! The attack from the 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors landed on the three. The three were badly injured. The 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors had held back, or else the three would have been killed. Whoosh! 3 warriors flew down and captured the 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Then, the 3 flew into the wicked bead and were all taken in by Lu Li. Well done. When the others were teleported in, Lu Li enveloped the 3 severely injured Earth Immortal Realm warriors with feather wind in case they try to fight back or commit suicide. Soul snatching. Lu Li began to use some soul seeds. He had many soul slaves under his control, but Jun Mingchen and the others had passed away. However, Jun Mingchen and the rest were already dead. So given the strength of his soul, it wouldn't be a problem for him to control more soul slaves. The 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors had fainted under the influence of feather wind. Soul snatching was not difficult. In an hour, the 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors were captured. This is good. Now, Lu Li had 12 Earth Immortal Realm soul slaves and Lung Wuxin. Lu Li flew the wicked bead forward, thinking that it would be great if he could take down some semi-god realm soul slaves. That being said, he could only dream about it. How strong were semi-god realm warriors? Even if they were in a coma, Lu Li would not act rashly or else he could kill them in one move. The 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors disappeared, but they did not die. The wicked bead flew toward the city of Feng, which confused the powerful warriors in the city of Feng. Was it really the crippled Zen master in the wicked bead? Otherwise, how could Lu Li take down 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors so easily? Guanyin, go and explore with some Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Feng family progenitor thought about it and said to a family patriarch of an affiliated family. Guanyin was at the semi-god realm. He should be able to find out the situation easily. Guanyin pulled a long face. If it was the crippled Zen master in the wicked bead, then he would never come back. But could he disobey the orders of Feng family progenitor? Chapter 772. Guanyin hurried over with 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. They stopped Lu Li after he had been flying for 6 hours. Guanyin didn't show himself. Instead, he ordered the 5 Earth Immortals to intercept him. This way, if it was the crippled Zen master, he wouldn't be killed instantly. When the 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors intercepted him, Lu Li did not use the name of the crippled Zen master for no reason. He identified himself directly. But this time, he did not dare to act recklessly. He did not dare to take down these 5 Earth Immortals. Lu Li knew that there must be some semi-god realm warriors lurking nearby. He flew the wicked bead away and circled around. Soon he found Guanyin. Making sure that there was only one semi-god realm warrior, Lu Li flew the wicked bead back. Then, he released Featherwind and sent the 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors to kill 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Whoosh! Guanyin had been lurking nearby. He had learned everything Lu Li said and how the 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors fought. Guanyin flew up in rage, trying to kill the 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. However, the 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors killed the 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors that were affected by the feather wind and then dashed into the wicked bead. Shang Guanyin's attacks could only land on the wicked bead. A semi-god realm warrior's attack was ignored by Luli. This semi-god realm warrior was weak, and his attacks were not strong. Luli was not sure that he could kill a semi-god realm warrior. Featherwind was precious, and he didn't want to waste it. Flying away in the wicked bead, Luli said, "Tell the Feng family and the Qi family that I, Luli, only want to leave the Central Imperial Universe. If you want to stop me, I will have to start a massacre in the Feng Dynasty and the Qi Dynasty." Whoosh! With that said, Luli sped up the wicked bead to the extreme. In a few blinks, he vanished into the distance. Shangwan Yin could not catch up with him. The wicked bead's sudden increase in speed scared Guan Yin to death. He muttered to himself for a moment in midair, then searched for a city and teleported to Great Imperial Feng City. Guan Yin told him what he saw and heard. A castle in the city of Feng was in an uproar. The wicked bead was even faster than Guan Yin. In other words, only 4 or 5 warriors of the entire Central Imperial Universe could catch up with the wicked bead. The others could not attack the wicked bead. Luli had spoken tough words. Knowing Luli, he would not be soft-hearted. Feng family and Qi family had to make a decision. Either they would let Luli go, or they would fight till the end. The group of people only discussed for 2 hours before they made up their minds. The Feng clan and the Qi clan were prepared to take a gamble. The temptation of a divine artifact was too great. Now, the wicked bead could move as fast as a semi-god realm warrior. Luli could not take control of the wicked bead completely. This meant that the wicked bead still had many strange skills that Luli could not use. If the Feng family progenitor or the Qi family progenitor could obtain the wicked bead, they would become the most powerful warrior in the 9 universes. After the discussion, all the semi-god realm warriors were dispatched. There were originally 15 semi-god realm warriors in the Central Imperial Universe. Jun Hongye and the Li family patriarch killed 2 of them. Now, there were 13 semi-god realm warriors left. If they worked together, they might have a chance to take down the wicked bead. Many scouts were sent out to keep track of Luli at all times. The 13 semi-god realm warriors teleported to where Luli was going to and waited in silence. 2 hours later, a cyan bead came flying from afar. It was as fast as an earth-level deity. When the bead came close, the 13 semi-god realm cultivators immediately flew up and surrounded the bead. Luli snorted. He had given the Feng family and the Qi family a chance. Since the 2 families had chosen to fight to the bitter end, Luli had to return the favor. Luli shouted, "Feng family, Qi family, you asked for this. The lives of your 2 dynasties have been plunged into misery and suffering. It is all because of your stupid decisions." Whoosh! Luli sped up the wicked bead to the top of his speed and flew forward. The semi-god realm warriors used their strongest means to blast at the bead. Luli checked the energy in the bead. He was relieved. The wicked bead could last for half a year, even if the 13 semi-god realm warriors kept on attacking. Not to mention that not all the semi-god realm warriors could catch up with the wicked bead. Whoosh! The wicked bead dashed into the distance like a shooting star at the top of its speed. Soon, many semi-god realm warriors were left behind. The Feng family and Qi family progenitors followed closely behind. 3 semi-god realm warriors could manage to keep up. As for the others, they were too slow to catch up with the wicked bead. Teleport to the front and stop them, the Qi family progenitor said. 8 semi-god realm warriors dashed into the city. Soon, they arrived at the city Luli was in and stopped the wicked bead. Luli was enraged. He enlarged the wicked bead to a radius of 1,000 feet and smashed at the plaza in front of him like a shooting star. Boom! A huge crater was created on the ground of the city square. Hundreds of soldiers on the square were smashed to death, and all the teleportation formations were destroyed. The semi-god realm warriors of the Qi family, Feng family, and the other semi-god realm warriors did not dare to attack anymore. There were many warriors and civilians in the city. If the semi-god realm warriors went wild, many people in the city would die. Luli would not vent his anger on the civilians. He just wanted to destroy the teleportation formations so that the semi-god realm warriors could not catch up with him. He flew the wicked bead up, and soon he lost 8 semi-god realm warriors who were slower. Of the entire Central Imperial universe, only 5 could catch up with him. The 5 kept on attacking. The wicked bead's energy was not running out so fast. The wicked bead could last for at least half a year. In the hall, Luli took out a map and said to Lung Wuxin, "Circle out the cities owned by the Feng family, Qi family, and other families with semi-god realm warriors of the 2 dynasties." Lung Wuxin was the princess of the Lung dynasty. She had a good grasp of this information. She circled the map, and hundreds of densely packed cities were circled by her. After a round of inspection, Lung Wuxin pointed to more than a dozen cities that were circled twice and said, "Most of the people in those cities are from the Feng family, Qi family, and other major families." Okay, let's start with those cities. A glint of coldness rose in Lu Li's eyes. He was ready to wield the butcher's knife. As he said, since the Feng family, Qi family, and the other major families had decided to go to war, then they must be prepared to pay the price. Luli took a look at the map. There was a city more than 300,000 miles away, which happened to be under the control of a branch of the Feng family. There was a branch of the Feng family in the city. Most people in the city were disciples of a branch of the Feng family. Luli turned the wicked bead. The Feng family progenitor frowned, but did not overthink. An hour later, when Luli was about to arrive at that city, the Feng family progenitor came to his senses. He yelled at once, "Brother 3, send a message. Tell the Feng family disciples at the Red Cloud City to evacuate." A Feng family, semi-god realm warrior, sent a message at once. However, it was too late. In the time for half an incense stick to burn, Luli had arrived at the Red Cloud City. It really is a city under the control of a branch of the Feng family. Many young masters and young ladies were teleported away in terror when the teleportation formations in the city lit up. Some of them flew to different directions when they saw the wicked bead coming. Luli grinned. His smile was cold, like the glint on the edge of a blade. Lung Wuxin and the others shuddered with fear. Boom! Chapter 773. Run! The wicked bead fell like a meteorite. More than 1,000 people in the city were smashed to death. Many Feng family disciples in the city were scared out of their wits. They fled to all directions in terror. Whoosh! In a blur, the wicked bead flew up and smashed away hundreds of warriors that were running in one direction. Low-level warriors could not stand the strong impact at such a high speed. "Disperse, disperse!" The Feng family progenitor shouted anxiously. They could do nothing but watch as Feng family disciples were being slaughtered. They could not stop the wicked bead from flying. The previous attacks had proven this. The wicked bead danced around in the sky, smashing groups of warriors to death. Luli had a heart of steel. Even though many low-level warriors were innocent, and some might not be from the Feng family, Luli killed them all the same. Lung Wuxin's slap had taught him one thing. To survive in this world, the only way was to be cold-blooded and merciless. Any fluke, any soft-heartedness, and eventually he would be the one to die. Natural selection, survival of the fittest. Since the Feng family wanted to kill him and take away his wicked bead, they must pay the price. Those warriors could have been spared. Luli had given the Feng family a choice. Unfortunately, the Feng family progenitor had chosen to fight till the end. Luli had no choice but to wield the butcher's knife mercilessly. There were many warriors in the city. Including the disciples of the Feng family branches, there were at least hundreds of thousands of them. Those warriors fled to all directions in fear. Fortunately, the civilians were scared out of their wits. They were hiding in the city, not daring to move. Since there were no civilians, Luli showed no mercy. He flew the wicked bead forward like a shooting star. Everywhere he went, people were smashed to death. The impact of the wicked bead's high speed was horrifying. Average warriors could not stand it. Even human sovereign realm warriors without quasi-relics would be smashed to death. Only Earth immortal realm warriors could survive. Hell, in the time for 2 incense sticks to burn, the city of Red Cloud had turned into hell. Dead bodies were everywhere in and out of the city. Nobody could tell how many had died. The 5 semi-god realm warriors were afraid of those warriors. They could only watch as Lu slaughtered them. After the time for 3 incense sticks to burn, more than half of the fleeing warriors had died. Lu hovered the wicked bead above the city and said in a demonic voice, "I am Lu. I have no choice but to kill here today. The Feng clan and the Qi clan wanted to deal with me. So, if you want to blame someone, blame the Feng clan and the Qi clan. If the two families don't stop fighting, I, Lu, will bathe the entire Feng dynasty and Qi dynasty in blood." With that said, Lu flew away in the wicked bead. Feng family and Qi family progenitors screamed in anger and chased after Lu. They exerted their strongest attacks, trying to crack the wicked bead as soon as possible and cut Lu into pieces. Next city, Lu took a look at the map and saw a city nearby. It was a region city, a city of an affiliated family of the Feng family. After flying for 2 hours, Feng family's patriarch woke up with a start and immediately transmitted his voice to Feng family's third brother. "Heavenly Flame City seems to be ahead. Tell the Lu family to run." There was a semi-god realm warrior of the Lu family who was not as fast as the wicked bead. If the Heavenly Flame City was massacred, that semi-god realm warrior of the Lu family would lose his mind. Feng family's third brother replied at once. However, there were too many Lu family warriors in the city. How many could be teleported away by teleportation formations in a short time? Lu arrived at the Heavenly Flame City in the time for 3 incense sticks to burn. The teleportation formations in the city were glowing. Many Lu family disciples had been teleported away. The semi-god realm warrior of the Lu family had already received the news. Seeing the wicked bead coming, he flew over in rage and yelled, "Lu, every wrong has its perpetrator. Come at me if you can." There were many Lu family disciples in the city, and many Lu family warriors were running away as well. If Lu went on a killing spree, many would lose their lives. Lu turned a deaf ear to the semi-god realm warrior of the Lu family. He smashed the wicked bead into the plaza in the city and destroyed all the teleportation formations. Then, he began to hunt down the warriors in the city. Many civilians in the city were running to all sides in fright. Many were shivering in their homes. Lu was not crazy enough to kill civilians as well. Lu flew the wicked bead over and went around the city. Soon, he found many groups of fleeing warriors. "Lu, if you're a man, come at me. Don't hurt the innocent. What kind of man are you to attack low-level warriors?" The semi-god realm warrior of the Lu family rushed over in rage. He would release Xian energy to attack the wicked bead every now and then. His eyes had turned red. "What kind of man are you?" Lu sneered. "I, Lu, am only 23, and I am the noble lord realm. How long have you semi-god realm warriors lived? What kind of man are you to hunt me down? If you have the guts, let your young disciples come out and fight with me." Lu family patriarch was taken aback. He had no words to refute. Lu didn't mind him anymore. He smashed the wicked bead and crushed the warriors to death. The wicked bead was fast. Those eternal realm, noble lord realm, and human sovereign realm warriors could not run far. Lu chased around the city, paying no attention to the several semi-god realm warriors chasing after him. Another 100,000 warriors were slaughtered. Lu stopped the wicked bead again. He used psychic power to check on the warriors behind him and said coldly, "The wicked bead's energy can last for another 4 to 5 years. You can keep going. I think 4 to 5 years is enough for you to wipe out all the warriors of the Central Imperial Universe. If you're not convinced, you can keep on going." The wicked bead sped up to the top of its speed and flew to the southeast. This time, Luli's target was the city of Feng. The city was not far away, a day's journey at most. 4 to 5 years, the Feng family progenitor and the Qi family progenitor looked at each other. Their faces were clouded. If what Lu said was true, then the Feng dynasty and the Qi dynasty would be wiped out. Do we have to keep going? The 5 warriors following Lu had the same question. How many would be killed by Lu in 4 to 5 years? how much would the population of the Central Imperial Universe decrease? By then, they would suffer a great loss. They could not recover without tens of thousands of years. Give up? So many people would die in vain. They would become the laughingstock of the other universes. The Central Imperial Universe used to be quite powerful among the universes. After this, it would go back to the Samsara universe and be bullied by other universes. Families from other universes might even invade them. No, the two progenitors shook their heads. This was not what they wanted to see. So many had died. More did not matter. They had decided to fight till the end. Either the Central Imperial Universe would never recover from this setback, or they could soar up with the wicked bead. Send a message. The Feng family progenitor said to Brother 3 of the Feng family, "Tell disciples to relocate to the ancestral land. I will have the wicked bead, even if the Central Imperial Universe is wiped out." The Feng family progenitor had made up his mind. The chief family progenitor sighed. He asked a semi-god realm warrior to send a message and began to make arrangements. Chapter 774. By the time Lu Li arrived at the city of Feng, more than half of the immediate disciples of the Feng family had been relocated. There was a teleportation portal in the Feng family imperial palace that could send people to their ancestral land. Feng family disciples kept coming in. In one day, millions had come. That being said, there were still many warriors in the city. Many people from different branches were gathered here. Feng family was a super rich family with a history of 1,000,000 years. How many people were there? Not even the family patriarch of the Feng family knew. When Lu Li was 300,000 miles away from the city of Feng, the Feng family progenitor sent a message to all the warriors in the city to flee. The city was deserted. The city of Feng was the capital of the Feng dynasty. Those that could live here were all disciples of the Feng family. There would not be civilians. The evacuation was fast. When Lu Li arrived at the city of Feng, he found that such a huge, ancient city should have a population of over 100 million. Now, 80 to 90% of them had left. Lu Li checked with psychic power and flew into a rage. He had been flying for a day, and the city of Feng was empty. He smashed the wicked bead at the imperial palace of the city of Feng. Boom, 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 the imperial palace was empty. Lu Li flew the wicked bead around, leveling the palaces to the ground one after another. The Feng family, semi-god realm warriors were furious. It was not difficult to build the palaces, but this was the base camp of the Feng family. They were enraged that Lu Li was destroying them right in front of their eyes. Soon, the imperial palace was in ruins. Not a single palace was intact. The pavilions, corridors, and gardens were all destroyed by Lu Li. Lu Li was not satisfied yet. He began to smash at the residences of the wealthy families in the city. Those residences belonged to major families, and they were all empty. Lu Li found them to be an eyesore. He smashed at them one by one, destroying all of them. Boom! The Feng family progenitor saw a beautiful city. In the time for several incense sticks to burn, Lu Li had turned it into a scene of desolation. The Feng family progenitor made up his mind. He told the warriors to keep on smashing at the wicked bead. After all, the city could be rebuilt. All the semi-god realm warriors had been teleported over. As they attacked, the castles on the ground were destroyed. Since there was help, Lu Li decided not to destroy the city. He flew the wicked bead around in the city and asked the semi-god realm warriors to help him tear down the city of Feng. After the time for 3 incense sticks to burn, Lu Li flew away from the city of Feng. The huge city of Feng, a city that had not been breached for hundreds of thousands of years, had turned into ruins today. There was not a single intact building in the city. The remaining residents had been killed by more than 10 soul formation realm experts. It seems that the Feng family and the Qi family are going to fight to the death. Lu Li was troubled. They didn't even care about Feng Dianqing anymore. They had killed their own people. The determination of the Qi family and the Feng family was evident. He had left the Zen mountain range. He couldn't possibly go back, right? Moreover, the Zen mountain did not belong to Yin Qingxi. The crippled Zen master did not want to help him. There was still plenty of energy left in the wicked bead. The thing was, he could not force the semi-god realm warriors to stop fighting. He guessed that all the members of the great clans were moving, right? Was he going to slaughter a bunch of civilians? To the semi-god realm warriors, civilians must be worthless. They wouldn't care even if Lu Li killed hundreds of millions or billions of them. Lu Li's original plan was to kill some disciples of the Feng family and the Qi family to force the semi-god realm warriors to compromise and let him leave the Central Imperial Universe. It seemed that it was not possible. He was at a loss. He could not do anything to the semi-god realm warriors. At this rate, the wicked bead would be cracked sooner or later unless he went back to the Zen Mountain. He flew the wicked bead toward a direction while trying to figure out a way. Half a day later, he ran into a group of warriors. They didn't run away. Instead, they were hiding in the mountains. There were at least 10,000 of them. Charge! Lu Li didn't care if they were from the Feng family or not. As long as they were warriors, he would kill them. Lu Li's eyes were bloodshot. Since he didn't know how to turn the situation around, he was depressed and needed a vent. The 10,000 warriors were the ones who had escaped from the city of Feng. They had received the news that the wicked bead was coming. They hid, trying to hide from Lu Li's detection. Boom, 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 the wicked bead smashed down like a meteorite, killing more than 100 in an instant. Then, the wicked bead flew around and crushed all the warriors hiding nearby. Spread out, spread out. The Feng family progenitor recognized that many of the warriors were from the Feng family branches. He shouted. The Feng family semi-god realm warriors were enraged to see their families being killed by Lu Li. The hatred could not be resolved. Soon, more than half of the 10,000 warriors were killed. The remaining 1,000 were running away. It would be a waste of time to kill them one by one. Lu Li had to fly away in the wicked bead. Lu Li was more troubled when he saw the 5 semi-god realm warriors chasing after him. The Feng family semi-god realm warriors didn't care anymore. Maybe they had become numb. No matter how many Lu Li killed, they would not change their minds. What was more, the elite disciples must have been relocated. The ones left behind were the less talented ones or disciples of branches. Why would the old warriors care? Killing seemed to be pointless. Lu Li thought about it. Apart from their own families, what else could make the old warriors worry about? Lu Li looked at Lung Wuxin and asked, Lung Wuxin, apart from the Feng family, what else do you think the semi-god realm warriors of the Feng family value the most? Lung Wuxin did not know what was going on outside. She thought about Lu Li's question and answered soon, Ancestral land. The other Earth, immortal realm warriors nodded in agreement. For super families, ancestral land was the most important. Ancestral land was related to the continuity of the family. If the ancestral land was destroyed, the family would be gone forever. The ancestral land was still there. Even if all the disciples outside were killed, the family could recover gradually, and in the end, they could fight their way back to the 9 universes. Lu Li asked, Can I enter the ancestral land of the Feng family? Lung Wuxin shook her head. No. Apart from the Feng family, nobody else can. Once the ancestral land is open to relocate disciples, the passageway will be destroyed soon. Only by gathering a group of semi-god realm warriors and breaking down spatial barriers can we enter the ancestral land of the Feng family. Lu Li had expected this result. He sighed and asked, Apart from ancestral land, anything else? Lung Wuxin frowned. Uncle Nine of the Hao family suddenly remembered something and said, Blessed land. Yes. The other Earth, immortal realm warriors nodded and said, Blessed land. Apart from ancestral land, blessed land is the most important thing for big families. What is a blessed land? Lu Li was excited. A June family Earth, immortal realm warrior explained, Blessed land is a naturally formed land of treasures. Such lands can produce treasures all the time. They're the most important places for families. But usually, blessed lands are secretive. The outside world does not know about them. Lu Li looked at the 3 Earth immortal realm warriors he captured not long ago. They were sent over by the Feng family, and Lu Li had taken them as soul slaves. The 3 were lying in a corner. Their wounds had not recovered yet. Lu Li asked, Do you know about the blessed lands of the Feng family and the Qi family? Two of them were so badly injured that it was difficult for them to talk. One of them said, "I only know that the Feng family has 18 blessed lands. As for the specific locations, I don't know. Our family patriarch might know. Given our status, we are not qualified to know. 18 blessed lands." A glimmer of hope rose in Lu Li's heart. The blessed lands were so well hidden that not even the three Earth Immortal Realm warriors knew about them. They must be important to the Feng family. After a while, Lu Li shouted, "Get ready. Later, work with me to capture an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Feng family. He must know where the blessed lands are. P.S. 4 chapters. 1 more to go. 2 more to go. On Monday, the chosen warriors would like to vote for the old freak. Cupped hands, cupped hands. Chapter 775. Yes. Lung Wuxi nodded in agreement. Earth Immortals are usually the elders of their families. Soul formation cultivators won't get involved in the management of their family's affairs. If you can capture an elder of the Feng family, you will definitely be able to find all 18 blessed lands of the Feng family. Lu Li asked again after some thoughts. Lung Wuxin, if I destroy the 18 blessed lands of the Feng family, what will happen to the Feng family semi-god realm warriors? Lung Wuxin blinked her eyes and said, I'm sure they will fly into a rage. The blessed land is the foundation of the Feng family. If the blessed land is destroyed, the Feng family will suffer a great loss. That was a peerless treasure ground. Even if the two empires were to go to war, they would not destroy it. If you really destroy the 18 blessed lands, it will definitely be a fatal blow to the Feng family. All right, whether or not he could threaten the Feng family with this, Lu Li was ready to try. He wandered around the area, looking for Earth Immortal Realm patriarchs of the Feng family. There were many people nearby. They were all warriors who had escaped from great Imperial Feng City, but Earth Immortals were rare. Lu Li wandered around, but didn't see any Earth Immortal Realm warriors. He did run into some warriors, but he crushed them all. Returned to Feng the Arch City. Lu Li believed that some Feng family Earth Immortal Realm warriors would go back to the city to deal with the aftermath. Therefore, he decided not to go after the warriors nearby. He turned around and flew toward the city of Feng. The 5 semi-god realm warriors were confused to see that Lu Li didn't go after them. Instead, he turned around. Feng family progenitor asked, Are there any cities with disciples of branches living in that direction? The Feng clan's third son thought about it and nodded. There are a few small cities, but there shouldn't be many people, right? The Feng family ancestor instructed, sent a message for them to evacuate. Don't gather in the cities. Also, when evacuating, scatter. Don't gather in tens of thousands. Many cities near the city of Feng were inhabited by disciples of branches of the Feng family. If Lu Li were to go to the cities and attack them one by one, many Feng family disciples would lose their lives. They were not far away from the city of Feng. In the time for several incense sticks to burn, Lu Li was back. He scanned the area with his immortal will and found that there were a few Earth Immortals in the ruins of Feng Supreme, the Arch City. They were directing a group of people to heal the wounded and heal the wounded. Why are you back? Retreat. An Earth Immortal Realm warrior shouted when he saw the wicked bead flying back. These Earth Immortals were indeed one of the elders of the Feng family. They were responsible for dealing with the aftermath. The Earth Immortal Realm warriors were not afraid of being hit by the wicked bead. The wicked bead had bumped into them many times in the past. It turned out that the Earth Immortal Realm warriors would only be injured, not killed. Xiao, the wicked bead flew toward the Earth Immortal Realm warrior. The latter dodged and dodged the wicked bead. However, all of a sudden, the wicked bead stopped right next to the Earth Immortal Realm warrior. A dragon of feather wind whooshed out and enveloped the patriarch. Because there were people nearby, the divine transformation realm old monsters behind them didn't dare to attack. The patriarch of the Feng family was screaming in pain in midair, which shocked the semi-god realm warriors behind him. What was Lu Li doing? Kill an Earth Immortal to vent? Not good. The wicked bee glowed as an Earth Immortal Realm warrior came out. He grabbed the Feng family patriarch's neck and dragged him into the wicked bead. Whoosh, 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 the semi-god realm warriors reacted quickly. They took actions as soon as the person appeared outside the wicked bead. However, it was too late. That person entered the wicked bead, and so did the Feng family Earth immortal realm warrior. Retreat, the Feng family progenitor shouted. Previously, the wicked bead could not kill Earth immortal realm warriors, so they didn't pay much attention. But now one of them was captured so easily. Okay. Inside the wicked bead, after Luli knocked out the Feng family Earth immortal realm warrior with feather wind, Luli flew the wicked bead to the distance and began to seize souls. In the time for one incense stick to burn, Luli captured another soul slave. He didn't feel any weakness in his soul. He only had 14 soul slaves at the moment. In the past, he had more than 20 to 30 soul slaves. What is your name? What is your position in the Feng family? Luli asked after the Feng family Earth immortal realm warrior woke up. The Feng family Earth immortal realm warrior answered honestly, I am Feng Yuyang, a patriarch of the Feng family. Luli took out a map and threw it over. Circle the 18 blessed lands of the Feng family. Feng Yuyang was frightened, but he dared not to disobey Luli. He circled the places on the map. Soon, he circled 15 places. Giving the map back to Luli, he said, I only know these 15. Only the family patriarch and great patriarchs know the other 3. Good. Luli was satisfied. He took a look and found a blessed land nearby. He checked the direction and turned the wicked bead to the south again. The semi-god realm warriors were confused. What was Luli doing here and there? They could not figure it out. Naturally, they followed him. An hour later, the Feng family progenitor asked with confusion, Is there a big city over there? Are there many disciples? Brother 3 of the Feng family frowned. He shook his head and said no, but I think we will reach the city of the Chung family after flying for half a day. The Chung family was a major family. Their progenitor was a semi-god realm warrior, but he was not fast enough. The Feng family progenitor waved his hand and said, Send a message to Brother Chung. Tell him to leave at once. Brother 3 of the Feng family nodded. He flew to a nearby city and told someone to send a message. Then he teleported twice and caught up with Luli. It is done. Brother 3 of the Feng family nodded to the others. He looked around. A moment later, he suddenly remembered something. His expressions changed. He sent a message to the Feng family progenitor. Progenitor, I think there's a blessed land up ahead. Blessed land? The Feng family progenitor remembered. His wrinkled face twitched. He remembered that Luli just captured a patriarch of his family. He was even more upset. Blessed land. Blessed land was a land of treasures, formed naturally. It was hard to find such a blessed land. Usually, only one would show up in tens of thousands of years, and that was when one was extremely lucky. Over 1 million years, only 18 blessed lands were found in the Feng dynasty. The speed of nurturing treasures in the blessed lands would be horrifying. The mystical materials nurtured in the blessed lands were of the highest level. With a blessed land, the wealth of a family would increase exponentially, and the family could rise up quickly. Over the course of history, the Central Imperial Universe had witnessed many wars. But none of the families dared to destroy blessed lands. Blessed lands were treasures given by the heavens. Destroying them would incur the wrath of heaven. But the thing was, Luli was not from the Central Imperial Universe. He was not interested in hegemony in the Central Imperial Universe. Blessed lands meant nothing to him. At the moment, he was like a desperate mad dog. If he knew about the existence of blessed lands, he would destroy them right away. The Feng family progenitor prayed to himself that Luli was not going to his family's blessed land. That being said, the reality was cruel. An hour later, Luli arrived at a mountain. He stopped. The mountain was huge. It looked plain and ordinary, nothing out of the ordinary. The 2 semi-god realm warriors of the Feng family, on the other hand, looked awful as if their father had passed away. Chapter 776. The chief family progenitor and the other 2 were taken aback. The Feng dynasty had 18 blessed lands, the Qi dynasty had 16, and the Lung dynasty had 20. If all the blessed lands were destroyed, it would be devastating for the central imperial universe. How could a family develop and stand proudly at the 9 universes? First, powerful warriors. Second, family members. And third, mystical materials. Why fight for territory? Why seek hegemony? For mystical materials. If most of the blessed lands of the central imperial universe were destroyed, then hegemony would be meaningless because there would be no constant supply of mystical materials. Without mystical materials, the families would not be able to train powerful warriors quickly and produce more human sovereign realm warriors, earth immortal realm warriors, and semi-god realm warriors. When their generation died of old age, there would be a gap in the number of powerful warriors in the families. There were many mystical materials in the ancestral land. But what about the long-term development after the mystical materials were used up? Unless they could take the wicked bead and use it to conquer a universe. Otherwise, in thousands of years, the major families would be reduced to small ones or be wiped out by other major families. Could they take the wicked bead? Nobody was sure. They had been attacking for a long time without any reaction from the wicked bead. Luli said it would take at least 4 to 5 years to crack the bead open. Did they really have to do that? What if something went wrong during that time? What if Luli went back to the Zen mountain after 4 to 5 years? The crippled Zen master didn't care about Luli. The thing was, Inqingxi seemed to be close to Luli. If Luli went back to the Zen mountain and Inqingxi activated the formation of mist, then there would be nothing they could do. Did they have to attack the Zen mountain? The 5 warriors were in a dilemma. If they gave up, so many would have died in vain. What if they couldn't take the wicked bead if they kept on fighting? The 5 semi-god realm warriors looked at each other, afraid to make a rash decision. This decision could doom the central imperial universe to eternal damnation. Luli was cheered up seeing that the 5 semi-god realm warriors were hesitating. He thought for a while and shouted, "I will give you the time for half an incense stick to burn to think about it. Either you fight to the death or I will destroy all the blessed lands of the central imperial universe." They were even more hesitant. Time moved on. They began to talk among themselves, but still could not make up their minds. More importantly, they were afraid that Luli would go back to the Zen mountain, so they could not be sure that the crippled Zen master was dead. Once Luli returned to the Zen mountain, all their efforts would be in vain. The time for half an incense stick to burn passed. Luli shouted, "Have you made up your mind? Do you want to fight or make peace? Just tell me." The formation of illusion down there cannot withstand the impact of the wicked bead. I can destroy this blessed land easily. Feng family progenitor and Qi family progenitor looked at each other in pain. Feng family progenitor made up his mind and yelled, "Luli, go ahead. When I break the wicked bead, I will make you wish you were dead. I will definitely kill your entire clan one by one. If I can't do it, I will commit suicide as an apology to the world." In the end, the Feng family patriarch chose to fight to the death. This time, the Feng dynasty had suffered great losses. Too many people had died. If he gave up just like that, how could he explain it to his clansmen? How could he face the people of the Feng dynasty? He chose to stake everything on this one throw. As long as he could get the wicked bead, he could conquer a universe. For example, if they could conquer the Earth Imperial Universe or the Mage Imperial Universe, they would be able to make up for their losses. All the sacrifices would be worthwhile. Okay, you asked for it. Luli made up his mind. The wicked bead glowed and expanded to a radius of more than 1,000 feet. Luli smashed down. There was a blessed land in the mountain that could not be seen from the outside. A strong formation of illusion was built here. Only semi-god realm warriors could see it. There were defensive inhibition formations as well, but they could not withstand the force of the wicked bead. Boom! As expected, as the wicked bead smashed down, the mountain lit up with a semicircle shield. The most powerful inhibition formations here were the formations of illusion. The shield was not strong because usually nobody dared to destroy blessed lands. This was the territory of the Feng family. Who dared to do so? Whoosh! The wicked bead flew up to more than 100,000 feet. Then, it sped up to the top of its speed and smashed down. The wicked bead was huge and fast. A random smash could be as powerful as an Earth Immortal Realm Warrior's attack. The inhibition formations down, they were shaking violently. It seemed that they could fall at any time. The Feng family progenitor and brother 3 of the Feng family were in pain. The reasons for the formation of blessed lands were complicated. Only one would appear every tens of thousands of years. Now, they had to watch as Lu Li destroyed the blessed land. It was not hard to imagine how miserable they were. The Feng family progenitor tried his best to strike at the wicked bead. He didn't dare to go down for fear that he might destroy the inhibition formations. He threw out one golden fist after another. Every time, he could hit the wicked bead accurately. The space around him was torn apart. The suffocating energy spread out, scaring away the beasts nearby. Boom, 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 Lu Li smashed at the shield again and again. The shield was shaking more and more violently. Lu Li flew up again and again. The chief family progenitor sighed. The inhibition formations were about to fall. The next time Lu Li smashed at the shield, the blessed land would be destroyed. The Feng family progenitor stopped. He turned his face away, unable to bear the sight. The blessed land was full of treasures. Lu Li's smash was going to ruin all of them. That was one of the most precious gifts given to the Central Imperial Universe. However, it was being destroyed right in front of their eyes. Whoosh! The wicked bead flew down from the sky like a shooting star and smashed at the shield. The protective barrier couldn't hold on any longer. It shattered, and a beautiful paradise appeared below. The wicked bead did not stop there. It whooshed downward. In the next second, the blessed land would be turned into ruins. Buzzing, right at that moment, the space above the blessed land trembled. It was as if a stone was thrown into a peaceful lake. Ripples spread out. Then, the space cracked open and a skinny hand came out. That hand grew into a hand with a length of more than 1,000 feet. The hand grabbed the hill-sized wicked bead in the center of the hand. What? The moment the space cracked open, the 5 semi-god realm warriors came back to their senses. They stared at the expanding hand and the wicked bead in its grasp. Their eyes were wide open. The wicked bead was strange. No matter how they attacked, they could not move the wicked bead one bit. Similarly, they tried to restrain the wicked bead, but to no avail. However, this hand grabbed the wicked bead easily and protected the blessed land. That was not the most important thing. The most important thing was this was not a shadow, but a real hand. Many semi-god realm warriors could make a shadow of a hand. But who could make a hand more than 1,000 feet in size? This was unheard of. Everyone stared at this withered hand as their souls trembled. This couldn't be God's hand, right? Lu Li was taken aback as well. The wicked bead could not move even one bit in the grasp of the hand. Reaching out a hand from the sky was something Lu Li had seen in the demon-slaying city. However, that hand could not grow larger, nor could it grab the wicked bead that was flying at a high speed. Was it really the hand of God? Chapter 777. The large hand casually tossed the bead into the air before disappearing into the spatial fissure at lightning speed. The hand disappeared as quickly as it came out. Peace was restored. But Lu Li and the 5 semi-god realm warriors didn't dare to move. The owner of the hand was so strong that he could even control the wicked bead. It would be a piece of cake for him to kill the chief family and Feng family progenitors. Lu Li let the wicked bead float in the air. He didn't dare to attack the blessed land anymore. He waited quietly. Since the owner of the hand stopped him from destroying the blessed land, he must have something to say. He was right. A moment later, an old voice came from above the sky. The voice was emotionless, as if an immortal was scolding a bunch of ants. Blessed lands are gifts from heaven. It is not easy to come into being. It will be a shame to destroy it. When the 5 soul formation cultivators heard this voice, they were startled. They looked at each other, but their faces were filled with bitterness. The 5 of them bowed in midair and said, "Greetings, my lord." Lord? Lu Li frowned. The way the five addressed him was strange. They addressed him as Lord, which meant that they didn't think they could defeat this person. What was more, they knew this powerful warrior, the crippled Zen master. A name was on the tip of his tongue. Luli bowed in the wicked bead and said, "Nice to meet you, forefather." Inqingxi addressed the crippled Zen master as forefather, and Luli followed suit. Luli was relieved. Since it was the crippled Zen master, for Inqingxi's sake, the forefather would not make things difficult for Luli. He would not take away the wicked bead, or else he would have taken it away at the Zen Valley. The voice belonged to the crippled Zen master. Qi family and Feng family progenitors once visited him. After a pause, the voice went on, "Luli, enough is enough. Let's call it a day. I have lived in the Central Imperial Universe for 3,000 years. I do have some attachment to it." Luli bowed again and said, "Luli, listen up." The five semi-god realm warriors were even more bitter. As they had expected, the crippled Zen master said again, "Feng Wanhu, Qi Donghai." Feng family progenitors and Qi family progenitors bowed and said, "Lord, please." That last Qing Si once told all of you that divine items depend on fate. The crippled Zen master's cold voice threw them into despair. Relic depends on fate. As a matter of fact, I told her this. You did not understand the deeper meaning. Since Emperor Hung chose to give the bead to Luli, it would be useless even if you could get it. Will Emperor Hung allow you to refine it? Would Emperor Hung allow his treasures to be taken away so easily? Is it worth it to plunge the Central Imperial Universe into misery and suffering for a useless bead? Can't refine it. The faces of the five semi-god realm warriors turned pale. The crippled Zen master would not lie. If he wanted to help Luli, he could just send a message. Who would dare to do anything? In other words, they had worked for nothing. Countless people had died for nothing. Great Imperial Feng City had been destroyed for nothing. Sigh, the corner of Feng Clan's ancestor's mouth twitched as he sighed in his heart. At this moment, he seemed to have aged a few hundred years. He bowed deeply and said, "Lord, we know what to do." That's all. After saying that, the crippled Zen master didn't say anything else. The five semi-god realm warriors felt like they had lost their souls. They stood in midair, feeling like weeping, but no tears would come out. Luli was relieved. It seemed that the crippled Zen master only stopped him from destroying the blessed land and stated one thing. But as a matter of fact, the crippled Zen master had helped Luli. With the crippled Zen master's words, the Feng family progenitor and the Qi family progenitor would no longer make things difficult for Luli. They had to open the teleportation formation and let Luli leave the Central Imperial Universe. Not long afterward, the Feng family progenitor turned to the wicked bead. He waved his hand and said, "Luli, get lost. We of the Central Imperial Universe will remember this. In the future, we will pay you back 10 times over." Luli smiled. He didn't take advantage of the Feng family progenitor. For the Feng family progenitor to say such words, he must have lost his mind due to anger. It was an idiotic behavior. If Luli could take control of the wicked bead, his abilities would be greatly enhanced. By then, when he could kill his way to the Central Imperial Universe, the Feng family would be wiped out. Luli flew the wicked bead toward the Zen Mountain without saying a word. The City of Chaos was over there. Luli was about to leave the Central Imperial Universe. He must bid farewell to Inqingxi and thank the crippled Zen master. Whoosh! The wicked bead whooshed across the sky and vanished into the horizon. The five warriors floated in midair with their eyes closed in pain. The Qi family progenitor was fine, but the Feng family had suffered a great loss. Home! Finally, I'm going home. Luli's mind was surging like a raging river after he left. He could not calm down. It had been more than 5 years. He had been away from the Heaven Reverse Universe for 5 years. He had been away from his family and friends for too long. He wished he could grow a pair of wings and fly back to the Heaven Reverse Universe at once. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Several hours later, a man suddenly flew up from a small city ahead of him. It was brother 3 of the Feng family. Luli frowned, but he did not mind. The Feng family progenitor and the others did not come. It seemed that they were not going back on their words. Luli, brother 3 of the Feng family, followed the wicked bead for 30 miles. When they arrived at a deserted mountain, he shouted, "We can let you go of the Central Imperial Universe, but you must release our people. You have captured 4 of us at the Earth Immortal Realm." Luli looked at the 4 Earth Immortal Realm warriors sitting in the hall and said, "I will let them go later. I promise that I will not kill them. If everything goes well, I will let them go in 10 years. "No," brother 3 of the Feng family yelled. "You must let them go, or we will not let you go. I dare you to shout again." Luli was enraged. He sneered, "If you shout again, I will kill the 4 of them. Do you think I don't have the guts to do that?" "You." Brother 3 of the Feng family pulled a ferocious face, like an enraged lion. That being said, he believed that Luli could do something like this. Luli was a lunatic who would do anything when cornered. 10 years. Brother 3 of the Feng family snorted. "I will believe you if you make a heaven reverse blood oath." "Fine." After a pause, Luli swore in the name of Emperor of Heaven Reverse that he would set the 4 free in 10 years. Of course, he did not make it sound so certain. He only said that he would not kill the 4. If someone else did, it would not be his fault. Brother 3 of the Feng family left in a rage and told Luli to leave by himself at the City of Chaos. Luli flew the bead toward the Zen Mountain. There was a reason why he wanted to keep the 4 alive. He wanted to bring them to the Heaven Reverse Universe. He wanted to bring the 13 Earth Immortal Realm Warriors to the Heaven Reverse Universe. Earth Immortal Realm Warriors could not go to the Prison of Gold, but he had a relic. He wanted to see if he could put the 13 in the wicked bead and bring them down to the Inferno. If he could let the 13 out when he returned to the deserted world. 13 Earth Immortal Realm Warriors was a horrifying force. They could at least protect themselves, if not the entire Central Plains. Chapter 778. Whoosh, near the Zen Mountain, a shooting star whooshed across the sky. The mist over the mountain was gone. Luli could see the Zen Valley with psychic power. Inqingxi was sitting in a pavilion among the flowers, playing the Chinese zither. She seemed to have heard the message from the crippled Zen master and guessed that Luli would be back soon. Whoosh! The bead dropped down, and Luli came out. Inqingxi looked up with a smile and said, "You are back." Luli nodded. He turned to a cabin and asked, "Can I meet the forefather and thank him?" Inqingxi shook her head and said, "He will not see you. You don't have to thank him. He is here for the sake of the Central Imperial Universe. He doesn't want those blessed lands to be destroyed. Also, it is difficult for others to consume your bead. He just mentioned it casually. I still have to thank the forefather." Luli cupped his fists toward the cabin. Then he said to Inqingxi, "Qingxi, I have to go back. I don't know when I can see you again." Inqingxi was disappointed. She pressed her lips and said, "You are not coming back? You can come to the Central Imperial Universe and have a look when you have time. You can come here to play and cultivate whenever you want." "I will try." Luli forced a smile. It shouldn't be difficult to go down from the Prison of Gold to the Inferno. But to go up one level at a time, it would be difficult. Luli was not sure that he could do it. That being said, Lung Wuxin was in the bead, and he could ask her to bring him up. Luli added, "I will come and see you when I have time." Inqingxi picked up a goblet of wine, and Luli took it over. They clinked their glasses and drank up. Inqingxi said, "I have sent someone from the Tsing-Yi cabinet to the City of Chaos. They will teleport to the purgatory of primordial chaos first. They will only let you go if it is safe there. There are no semi-god realm warriors in the City of Chaos. I don't think the Feng family and the Qi family will do anything rash." Luli didn't say thank you again. He poured himself a goblet of wine and drank it up. Then he cupped his fists and said goodbye. A bosom friend in the sea is like a neighbor in the world. "Qingxi, take care." Inqingxi bowed and nodded. "Take care. Let's go." Luli bowed to the crippled Zen master's cabin again. Then he flew up and gave Inqingxi a meaningful look. This time, he entered the wicked bead and flew away like a shooting star. Inqingxi had a lonely look on her face. She closed her eyes and stood alone among the flowers. Creak, a cabin was pushed open, and the crippled Zen master walked out with his crutch. In a flash, he appeared beside Inchingsi. He kindly stroked her head and said, "Girl, don't be sad. If fate wills it, you will meet again. If we're not fated, then why force it?" Tears welled up in Inchingsi's eyes. Somehow she felt sad. She lowered her head and said, choking with sobs, "Forefather, I suddenly have a feeling that maybe Luli and I will not see each other for a long time. This separation might be forever." The crippled Zen master grinned and sighed. "You are right, because we are about to leave. I've stayed here for more than 3,000 years. It's time to leave." "Leave?" Chingsi trembled and asked, "Ancestor, where are we going?" "Back to your family." The crippled Zen master explained, "When I took you away, your family was in the midst of war. I need to learn something here. By the looks of it, the war in your family should have died down. It's time for you to go back and have a look." "Family?" Inchingsi looked a little strange and flustered. She had grown up in the Zen Valley since she was born. She had never seen any of her family members, nor had she heard anything about them. All of a sudden, she was going back to a strange big family, which made Inchingsi feel inexplicably panicked. "Girl, don't be afraid." The crippled Zen master patted Inchingsi's shoulder and said, "I will always be behind you. No matter what happens, I will help you." "Okay." Inchingsi smiled sweetly and wiped her tears. Somehow, she felt calmer. After a pause, she asked, "Then will we come back?" "Forefather." "Maybe, maybe not." The crippled Zen master answered after a pause, "Girl, work hard on your cultivation. When your abilities reach a certain level, you will be able to control your own life. You can go wherever you want." Inchingsi turned around and checked the Zen Valley carefully. She gave some orders to the servants. Then, she sighed and said, "Then let's go. Forefather, let's go home." Hiss, hiss, the crippled Zen master reached out one hand and grabbed the void. Then, he vanished in a thin air with Inchingsi. Just like that, they vanished from the world. Once again, Luli went back to the city of chaos. He flew around the city and made sure that there was only one Earth Immortal Realm warrior in the city. A man from the Tsing-E cabinet sent out a signal that the city was safe. Luli sent out 9 Earth Immortal Realm warriors and took control of the teleportation formation. He was still worried, so he sent 1 Earth Immortal Realm warrior to the purgatory of primordial chaos first. After a while, a jade talisman in his hand cracked. The Earth Immortal Realm warrior told him that everything was fine. "Let's go." Luli dashed out without any hesitation. He stepped into the teleportation formation with the other Earth Immortal Realm warriors. One of them activated the teleportation formation and they vanished from the city of chaos. Buzzing, after a flash of white light, Luli appeared in the prison of gold in the purgatory of primordial chaos. It was the same cave, the entrance to the Central Imperial Universe. One of Lu Li's soul slaves was standing next to the teleportation formation. There used to be 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors of the Central Imperial Universe guarding here. But now, there were only several human Sovereign Realm warriors. Luli took out the wicked bead at once and let everyone in. Then he dashed out of the cave in a blur. Okay, dozens of miles in one direction, Luli could put his mind at ease. He recalled the direction of the exit from the prison of gold and the prison of water. He flew the wicked bead over quickly. The wicked bead was traveling at the top of its speed. Luli knew that many warriors were hiding here, and some of them were at the semi-god realm. But he didn't care anymore. If he flew slowly, he would be noticed by the scouts of the Mage Imperial Universe, Divine Imperial Universe, and the Earth Imperial Universe. By then, the lunatics of the Mage Imperial Universe would come after him again, and he would be in big trouble. Therefore, he must reach the entrance to the water as soon as possible. He would be safe once he entered the water. The entrance to the Central Imperial Universe was not far from the entrance to the water. Back in the days, Lung Wuxin could cross the distance in 10 days. She could travel as fast as the Earth Immortal Realm on the Lotus. But the wicked bead could travel as fast as a semi-god realm warrior. If everything went smoothly, he could arrive at the entrance to the water in 3 or 4 days at most. Even if the scouts of the Mage Imperial Universe were to find him, they wouldn't arrive in 3 or 4 days. As Luli had expected, he alerted some warriors along the way. In just one day, he had run into 4 Earth Immortal Realm warriors and 1 Semi-God Realm warrior. Luli wanted to take the 4 Earth Immortal Realm warriors with him. But on second thought, if he could not bring the Earth Immortal Realm warriors down to the prison of water, then it would be pointless no matter how many Earth Immortal Realm warriors he recruited. If he could bring them down, the 13 Earth Immortal Realm soul slaves would be enough. As for the Semi-God Realm warrior, he was not fast enough to catch up with them. Luli was getting closer to the entrance to the prison of water. He had been wandering around for years, narrowly escaping death many times. Finally, he was going home. P.S. For more chapters. 1 more to go. Vote! Chapter 779. Before he arrived at the entrance to the prison of water, Luli ran into another 2 semi-god realm warriors. They were fast enough to catch up with the wicked bead. Of the 2 old monsters, one was wearing a bright red robe, and the other was wearing a dark green robe. They looked incomparably coquettish and disrespectful, very flashy. The wicked bead was so fast that the 2 warriors were envious. They dashed over and tried to stop the wicked bead with all kinds of powerful skills. After several rounds of attacks, not only did the wicked bead fail to stop the wicked bead, it didn't move one bit. The glow on the wicked bead didn't die down one bit. The 2 warriors were taken aback. Then, they became even more excited and pursued the wicked bead. Luli was troubled. He was about to reach the entrance to the prison of water. How could he enter the prison of water if he could not get rid of the 2 warriors? He would be killed as soon as he came out. Luli had to take a detour to get rid of the 2 warriors first. He flew to the south and asked the more than a dozen Earth Immortal Realm warriors. There are 2 warriors in the prison of gold. One is in a red robe, and the other is in a green robe. Do you know them? The deranged Taoist pair. The June family Earth Immortal Realm warrior answered. They used to be powerful warriors from a family of the Mage Imperial Universe. They are brothers. They are cruel and lascivious. They often kill young girls, and they have no scruples. They even have the guts to rob young ladies from the 4 major families of the Mage Imperial Universe. Later, 2 families of the Mage Imperial Universe worked together to suppress them. The 2 escaped to the prison of gold. They are the most vicious warriors in the prison of gold. Oh, I see. A glint of killing intent rose in Luli's eyes. However, he was not powerful enough. If he were, he would kill these scumbags so that they wouldn't continue to bring harm to the human world. After flying for more than 4 hours, a golden mountain in front of them suddenly exploded. A figure flew out and shouted angrily from afar, "Crazy Taoist pair, how dare you break into my territory? Do you want to die?" Luli was overjoyed to hear this. He slowed down the wicked bead and flew downward in a low profile. From the distance came a white-bearded old man. He used psychic power to check the wicked bead. He was surprised, but he did not pay much attention. He flew toward the deranged Taoist pair. The red-robed old man of the insane Taoist pair shouted, "Imo Huanglin, we don't have time to play with you today. We are only here to pursue this pearl. If you want to play, then the 2 of us will naturally accompany you." A strange look flashed through Imo Huanglin's eyes once again. Then his body flashed as he grabbed out at the bead, wanting to grab it. However, when he tried to pull the bead back, the bead did not budge at all. Instead, the bead continued to fly forward, and his body was dragged forward. Oh! Mo Huanglin was shocked. He subconsciously released his grip, and the bead shone with light. Its speed reached its limit. Mo Huanglin could no longer care about the deranged Taoist pair. Just now, Luli's attention was attracted by the deranged Taoist pair. Now that he had noticed the uniqueness of the wicked bead, Luli no longer targeted the deranged Taoist pair, but the bead instead. Damn, Luli saw that the other three were catching up with him and were madly releasing all kinds of attacks at the bead. Luli could not help but complain. His original plan was to find some semi-god realm warriors and start a big fight. Then, he would sneak away quietly and rush into the prison of water to be safe. However, before a big fight broke out, there was one more pursuer. By the looks of it, the new Mo Huanglin was much more powerful than the deranged Taoist pair. He might be as powerful as the Feng family progenitor warrior. The three semi-god realm warriors were hot on his trail. The energy in the wicked bead was draining fast. Luli was not afraid that the energy would run out. He was afraid that the longer he stayed, the more powerful warriors from the Mage Imperial Universe, Earth Imperial Universe, and other universes would take action. By then, he would have nowhere to go. In the prison of gold, before he could shake off the pursuers, he would not dare to go out. As soon as he went out, he would be killed. There was no Zen mountain here. Once the powerful warriors from the Mage Imperial Universe and other universes took action, he would not survive. I must figure something out. Luli thought quickly. He rejected several ideas one by one. He thought of sending some Earth Immortal Realm warriors to their deaths so that he could take the chance to dash into the prison of water. However, there were three semi-god realm warriors behind him. Even if he sent out more than a dozen Earth Immortal Realm warriors, they would be killed in an instant. He could not reach the entrance to the prison of water. Those warriors would be killed in vain. As time moved on, Luli was getting more and more anxious. Just now, when he was flying around, he had alarmed many people. They might have sent messages back to their families. The armies of the Mage Imperial Universe would be here soon. Right? An idea came to Luli's mind. A glimmer of hope was kindled in his heart. He stopped the wicked bead all of a sudden. The wicked bead floated in midair and shouted, "Do you have a death wish? How dare you come after me? If my master knows, he will skin you and pull out your tendons." The voice from the wicked bead stunned the three. They had thought that the wicked bead was a relic or an evil artifact that was born with intelligence. They did not expect that there was a person inside. The information about the wicked bead was known to the other universes, but only to the higher-ups. Average disciples did not know. Therefore, the information did not reach the purgatory of primordial chaos. The three warriors did not get wind of it. "Master," Mo Huanglin's eyes flickered coldly. "Who is your master?" "There aren't many people in the 9 realms who can skin me, Mo Huanglin. I want to get to know them." A token of the Blood Emperor appeared in Luli's hand. He shouted, "My master is the famous Blood Emperor. How dare you come after me? My master will seek justice for me." Blood Emperor? The deranged Taoist pair looked at each other with fear. The Blood Emperor was a man with incredible abilities. The two dared not to offend the Blood Emperor. Mo Huanglin was taken aback. He just said that few in the world could skin him alive, and the Blood Emperor happened to be one of them. But soon, Mo Huanglin sneered, "Kiddo, how dare you trick me? Blood Emperor never takes an apprentices. Do you think you are his apprentice just because you say so? The Blood Emperor is that powerful?" Once again, Luli witnessed the Blood Emperor's reputation. Previously, he had frightened the Lung dynasty. Now, he had stunned the three warriors. The token of the Blood Emperor dashed out toward Mo Huanglin. The latter grabbed the token and took a look. He was stunned. The deranged Taoist pair used psychic power to check. They were troubled. This was the real token of the Blood Emperor. This man must be the Blood Emperor's apprentice. On second thought, if he was not the Blood Emperor's apprentice, he would not have such a powerful artifact. Mo Huanglin thought for a while and threw the token over. Luli sent an Earth Immortal Realm warrior to grab it and teleport him back. "Since you are the apprentice of Blood Emperor, I will do him a favor." Mo Huanglin waved his hand. The Blood Emperor had gone to the prison of soul and had not come back yet. The token of the Blood Emperor was not broken, which meant that the Blood Emperor was still alive. The fact that the Blood Emperor could stay in the prison of soul for several years meant that he had passed the prison of soul. Once he passed the prison of thunder, the Blood Emperor would be the next one to ascend to the divinity. Mo Huanglin dared not to provoke such a person. "Let's go." Chapter 780. At the entrance to the prison of water, Luli did not go down at once. Instead, he flew the bead around. Then, he sent out 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors to patrol around. If there were any semi-god realm warriors lurking around, Luli would be killed instantly. Lung Wuxin, go out and release the lotus. Making sure that there were no warriors lurking around, Luli sent Lung Wuxin out. He took back the 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors and dashed into Lung Wuxin's lotus. Whoosh! The lotus dashed into a dark entrance in a blur. The lotus disappeared, and Luli dashed into the tunnel with Lung Wuxin. After a flash of white light, Luli and Lung Wuxin emerged in the prison of water. The 2 of them appeared on the stone steps of the sky-piercing mountain. Lung Wuxin released a light shield, and the 2 of them shot toward the bottom of the stone steps. Soon, they reached the bottom and floated above an ocean. Buzzing, Luli took out the wicked bead at once and went in with Lung Wuxin. He was overjoyed to see a group of Earth Immortal Realm warriors in the hall. Ha ha ha! He laughed and said, Lung Wuxin, I thought you couldn't come down from the prison of water. Didn't I come down with a group of Earth Immortal Realm warriors? Lung Wuxin blinked in confusion. She thought about it and said, I think it is because of the relic. In the past, many tried to bring Earth Immortal Realm warriors down with interspatial artifacts. They tried to conquer the 4 universes connected to the lower 4 levels, but they were all driven out by the laws of the purgatory of primordial chaos. We are in the prison of water? The Earth Immortal Realm warriors looked at each other in confusion. Luli's confirmation made them panic. The purgatory of primordial chaos was formed naturally and had its own laws. They wondered if they would be destroyed by the laws if they tried to defy the laws of nature. Luli paid no attention to them. He flew the wicked bead toward the entrance to the next level. It took Lung Wuxin 10 days to arrive at the entrance to the prison of Earth. He could arrive in 3 or 4 days at most. Flying in the boundless ocean, Luli found it hard to calm himself down. He was trembling. His long-cherished wish was coming true. He had suffered so much and escaped death so many times. Finally, he could go home. In the past, he had to force himself not to think about the heaven-reverse universe. But now, he could no longer do so. His mind was filled with images of Lu Ling by Qiu Xue, Jiang Qiling, Ming Yu, and Yi Cha. It had been more than 5 years. Was everything the same in the cloud state of the northern desert wasteland world? There's still 3 years before the 10-year period ends. The 4 great forces shouldn't act recklessly, right? After all, Xingmu was so famous. Unless the 4 great clans are courting death, they wouldn't dare to invade. This thought put Lu Li's mind at ease. He had a group of Earth Immortal Realm warriors with him. 3 years later, when the 4 forces invaded, what was there to be afraid of? All the problems had been solved. Luli could finally relax. Sitting cross-legged in the small hall, he slowly fell asleep. There was a smile on his face the entire time, and he even woke up a few times from laughing. 3 days later, Luli arrived at the next entrance. He left the prison of Earth and flew on. There were beasts of primordial chaos on the lower levels, but the wicked bead was here. Luli saw many treasures along the way, but he was not in the mood to pick them. After all, Lung Wuxin was here. He could ask her to go and pick them all later. Another 3 days later, they arrived at the prison of wood. Here, Luli was even more excited. He was about to arrive at the Inferno and enter the deserted world. The journey was smooth. 3 days later, Luli arrived at the entrance to the Inferno. He took a deep breath and asked Lung Wuxin to lead him into the tunnel. Buzzing, after a flash of white light, Luli and Lung Wuxin arrived at the towering mountain in the Inferno. Smelling the familiar smell of sulfur, Luli felt a tingling sensation in his nose. He almost shed tears. I Huhan San him back. Luli wanted to yell, but he felt embarrassed with Lung Wuxin next to him. After a pause, he asked Lung Wuxin to take him down the towering mountain. What? When they were about to leave the towering mountain, Luli was surprised. The stairs at the foot of the mountain were covered in mist. Clearly, there was a powerful formation of illusion here. There are formations of illusion and strong inhibition formations. They are formations of destruction. Lung Wuxin had sharp eyes. She said after a few glances. Luli believed it must be the work of the Shadowland race. Maybe it was to prevent more powerful warriors from coming down from above to attack those in the inferno. Release the lotus. Luli knew the power of the formations of destruction of the Shadowland race. Even though he was wearing a quasi-relic armor, he still had to be careful. The golden mark on Lung Wuxin's neck glowed. The lotus flew out and enveloped the two. Bit by bit, the lotus flew down. Boom, boom, boom. Above them, there came some thunderous roars. Then, thunderbolts whooshed down from the sky and landed on the lotus. The thunderbolts were powerful. Fortunately, they were protected by the lotus, or else they would have suffered. They wouldn't have died, but they would have suffered. Well, the formations of destruction of the Shadowland race are getting stronger. Luli had seen Kumang's formations of destruction before. This one was much more powerful. Kumang must have built one of the 3 most powerful ancient formations of destruction. Boom, 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 more thunderbolts came down. Protected by the lotus, Lu Li and Lung Wuxin flew down safely. While they were fine, the foot of the towering mountain was in chaos. There were guards at the foot of the towering mountain. The leader was a human sovereign realm warrior. If Luli could see him, he would recognize him as Meng Ji, the clan leader of the mammoth race. Meng Ji had reached the human sovereign realm. Seeing that the formation of destruction on the towering mountain was triggered, Meng Ji shouted, "Where is young Master Kumang? Ask him to come and have a look." Several castles were built at the foot of the towering mountain. Kumang had been alerted. He flew out with several people. Standing outside the formation, he sensed. His face turned pale as he shouted, "A lotus! She has the same bloodline skill as the one who kidnapped our Saint Lord." Meng Ji and the others were pale as well. If more powerful warriors were to come from the Inferno race, it would be a devastating blow. Meng Ji shouted, "Young Master Ku, do you have a way to trap her? If she gets out, we will all be doomed." "Let's try." Kumang made up his mind and shouted, "Everyone, activate the blood formation and activate the formation of destruction." Bang! Before Kumang could activate the blood formation, the formation suddenly glared. The shield was shattered. The mist dispersed. A bead flew out and floated in front of everyone. Buzzing, while everyone was preparing to launch attacks, a man showed up. Luli smiled at them and said, "Meng Ji Kumang, it has been a while." Saint Lord." Meng Ji, Kumang, and the others were dumbfounded. Looking at the familiar man and the familiar face, they could not help but burst into tears. Meng Ji dropped to his knees and cried, "Saint Lord, you are finally back. You must avenge God of Meng and Meng Qi. Yi Cha and the others are captured as well." Chapter 781. Swish, swish, swish. Lu Li's face turned pale. He trembled when he saw people crying. What he worried about the most had happened. Phew. After the time for one breath, he took a deep breath and asked, "Where's my sister, my aunt, and Bai Qiuxue?" These were the 3 most important people to him. If the 3 of them died in battle, he would probably faint immediately. Meng Ji and Kumang looked at each other. Meng Ji could not bear to say anything. He stammered, "Lady Ling and Lady Qiuxue, they should be fine. Madame Fei Xue should be fine as well." Boom! Luli was struck by a bolt from the blue. Meng Ji was hesitating. What did he mean by should be fine? What did he mean by should be fine? Luli could not stand it anymore. He shouted, "Tell me, are they dead or not?" "They are not dead." Meng Ji made up his mind. Lady Ling and Lady Qiuxue went to the Clouds Plains a month ago. They should be at the Central Plains now. Madame Fei Xue, Yi Cha, Bai Xiaoshuang, and Madame Yin were taken away by the 4 families. Lady Ling went to the Central Plains to save them. What? Luli trembled again. His lips trembled. He asked in a trembling voice, "Do they have jade talismans of life? Are they broken?" "I don't know." Meng Ji shook his head. "Lady Ling told me to stay here. If she has jade talismans of life, they should be with Ming Yu. He is at the base camp. Let's go." Lu Li threw a jade talisman to Meng Ji. He went into the wicked bead and shouted, "Kumeng, don't resist. I will take you in. Mengji, stay here. Crush the jade talisman to warn me if anything happens." Buzzing, buzzing, the wicked bee glowed. Kumeng and the others were taken in. Kumeng and the others felt a flash of white light, and they found themselves in a small hall. There was a group of experts with terrifying auras inside the hall, and their faces immediately paled. "Sit down and don't move. There is feather wind up there. You will die if you touch it," Luli shouted. Mengji and the others were too tall. They could easily touch the feather wind. Luli told them to stay here. Whoosh! The wicked bee dashed toward the base camp like a shooting star. It was so fast that Mengji and the other two warriors were stunned. A glimmer of hope was kindled in their hearts. This Saint Lord had always been creating miracles. Perhaps he could turn the tide this time. Luli ignored Mengji and the others. He stared at Kumeng and said, "Tell me everything in detail. Do not leave out anything. You don't have to care about the people inside. They're all my people." Huh? Kumeng and the members of the Heavenly Illusory tribe were shocked. They couldn't believe it, but they didn't dare to ask too much. Kumeng took a deep breath and quickly recounted everything that had happened during this period of time. For great families, Kumeng talked for the time for 2 incense sticks to burn. Luli was enraged after he finished. He yelled, "This time, I will destroy your families. You dare to hurt my sister and the others. I swear I will kill every single one of your races." What Luli feared the most had happened. The 4 families invaded ahead of schedule. 3 months ago, powerful warriors of the 4 families came and attacked the northern desert, the Clouds Plains, and the Serenity Plains. Each side was led by Earth Immortal Realm warriors. There were many human Sovereign Realm warriors and many Noble Lord Realm warriors. Lu Ling left 2 human Sovereign Realm warriors at the Serenity Plains. In a matter of days, the Serenity Plains fell. Lu Ling's warriors were all killed. At least hundreds of thousands were killed. The Ling Empress city was leveled to the ground. Apart from Madame Yin and Bai Xiaoshuang, who went to the Ling Empress city to have fun, everyone else died, including several Noble Lord Realm warriors of the Cyan Phoenix race and the Mammoth race. The Bai family disciples were all killed. The other cities of the northern desert were breached soon. Zi Huanxiao and Yu Huashan died. The Yu family and the Zi family were massacred. Only a small number of the 2 races managed to escape apart from the disciples who stayed in the base camp of the Inferno to cultivate. Lu Yi was killed and the Lu family was wiped out. Many cities of the northern desert were leveled to the ground. The population was reduced by 40 to 50%. Almost all the warriors that didn't run away were killed. A large number of civilians were implicated. It was the same at the Clouds Plains, the Silver Wolf Mountain, the Drifting Cloud City, and other families with human Sovereign Realm warriors under Lu Ling's command were massacred. The Clouds Plains, the Serenity Plains, and the Northern Desert were covered in blood. More than 10 million warriors were either injured or killed. Bodies were everywhere, and blood flowed like rivers. But this was nothing. The deserted world was almost conquered as well. Lu Ling didn't expect the 4 families to invade so early, so she was not prepared. A human Sovereign Realm warrior of the Samsara Palace sneaked in using a powerful skill. If it weren't for the fact that God of Meng risked his life to destroy the passageway to the northern desert, the deserted world and the Inferno would have fallen and God of Meng would have perished. 3 human Sovereign Realm warriors and hundreds of Noble Lord Realm warriors from the Samsara Palace and the Hades Society rushed in. The 3 human Sovereign Realm warriors and hundreds of warriors went on a killing spree in the deserted world. Ku Lv, Kumeng's grandpa, went to build a formation of destruction but was killed by the 3 human Sovereign Realm warriors. Chi Kur and the others died as well. At least millions were killed by the 3 human Sovereign Realm warriors. While the 3 human Sovereign Realm warriors were killing, Lu Ling was not there. She went to the Clouds Plains with a group of human Sovereign Realm warriors. They were not there to defend the Clouds Plains, but to save Lu Feishue. Because Lu Feishue was tricked to go to the Clouds Plains, Lu Swan resorted to tricks. He lured Lu Feishue out in the name of Lu Renwang. As it turned out, by the time Lu Ling went to the Cloud's Plains, Lu Feishue was captured, and so was Yi Cha, who went with Lu Feishue. If it weren't for the fact that Lu Ling went back to the deserted world decisively, they would have been killed as well. By the time Lu Ling went back to the deserted world, the 3 human sovereign realm warriors and hundreds of noble lord realm warriors had slaughtered the deserted world. Lu Ling told Kumang to seal off the passageway to the Cloud's Plains and then led a group of human sovereign realm warriors to kill the enemies. When the deserted world was stabilized, Lu Ling made arrangements and left the deserted world with the human sovereign realm warriors. She said she was on the Central Plains to get back at the 4 families and to save Lu Feishue, Yi Cha, and Bai Xiaoshuang. Apart from Ming Yu and Meng Ji, the others went with her, including Bai Qiushue and Little White. Little White was found a year ago. This was the only piece of good news. During the past 5 years, even though the Inferno was a land of treasures, none of Lu Ling's warriors had reached the Earth Immortal Realm. Lu Ling going to the Central Plains with a group of human sovereign realm warriors was like a moth flying into a flame. There were so many questions that Lu Li couldn't figure out. Why did the 4 families take action in advance? Weren't they afraid that Xing Mu, the Grand Master of the Demon-Slaying Hall, would wipe out the 4 families? They had killed so many people and implicated so many civilians. Weren't they afraid that they would incur public wrath? What was more, Lu Ling had always been calm and rational. She could be described as cold-blooded and heartless. Why was she so impulsive and bold to go to the Central Plains with a group of human sovereign realm warriors? How could Lu Feishue be lured out so easily? Why didn't Lu Ling notice? Many other questions were bothering Lu Li. That being said, those were not important. What mattered was that too many people had died. Lu Ling and Bai Qiushue were in grave danger. It was even possible that they had died. Chapter 782. Many people were living in the base camp of the Inferno, and even more outside. More than half of the people from the deserted world had gone to the Inferno. Even though the passageway connecting the deserted world to the Serenity Plains was sealed by Kumang, many people still felt that the deserted world was not safe. Ming Yu relocated those who wanted to go to the Inferno and only left those who didn't. He also left some warriors to guard the passageway to the Serenity Plains. Once the passageway went wrong, Ming Yu would have to destroy the passageway connecting the Inferno to the deserted world. Many families of the northern desert had their elite disciples cultivating in the Inferno. Some from the Cloud's Plains were relocated here. There were at least 100,000 of them. Including those from the deserted world, the Inferno had a population of at least several million. Outside the main camp were undulating tents. The temperature here was very high and not suitable for people to live in, but it was much safer here. Even in the Inferno, many people were living in fear. They were worried that powerful warriors of the 4 families would descend from the sky and kill everyone. Whoosh, an air-piercing sound came from the northern sky, startling countless people. Groups of ancient races walked out of their tents, their faces full of caution. Whoosh, 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 many people flew up from the base camp. Mingyu flew over with a group of noble Lord Realm warriors. He looked solemn. When he saw that it was a bead and how fast it was, he turned pale with fright. All the beasts of primordial chaos in the Inferno had been killed. It was clear that no one was left. The sudden appearance of the bead and its speed made Mingyu feel frightened out of instinct. Lu Li used psychic power. The bead floated above the tent. A group of people came out. Lu Li stood at the front. He looked at the terrified people down below. Lu Li seemed to be in pain and guilty. Mingyu and the others trembled. Mingyu looked at Lu Li in disbelief. His lips trembled as he asked, "Young master? Young master, is that you?" Lu Li nodded. He turned to Mingyu and said, "Mingyu, you have finally reached the human sovereign realm." "Young master." Mingyu dropped to his knees. Tears ran down his cheeks. The others knelt down as well. There were many familiar faces of Lu Li, such as patriarchs of the Cyan Phoenix race, Zilian, and some young masters of the Bai family. "Saint Lord, it's the Saint Lord." Some of the ancient race, civilians outside, recognized Luli. They dropped to their knees. Many of them acted as if they had seen their elders as they wailed and complained loudly. "Get up!" Luli waved his hand and said, "Don't worry. Your families will not die in vain. I, Luli, will avenge this blood feud. Otherwise, I will commit suicide as an apology to the world." Luli dared not to waste any more time. He asked Mingyu, "Mingyu, did my sister leave behind any jade talismans of life?" "No." Mingyu shook his head and said, "They left in a hurry, so they did not leave behind their jade tokens of life." "Mingyu, come up and follow me to the central plains," Luli said coldly. Looking at Kumang, he said, "Kumang, when I am not here, I will leave the inferno and the deserted world to you. Now, open up the passageway and let me go to the Serenity Plains." "Yes." Kumang remembered the more than a dozen Earth Immortal Realm warriors in the Wicked Bead. He hurried back to the base camp. Mingyu flew over as well. He didn't ask any questions. He was Lu Li's servant. As long as Lu Li made the decision, Mingyu would follow him no matter what. Whoosh, holding the Wicked Bead in his hand, Lu Li flew back to the base camp with a group of warriors. He didn't talk to Zilian and the others because he didn't have the time to calm them down. All he wanted was to go to the Central Plains at once. The entrance to the Inferno was sealed by Kumang with powerful inhibition formations. It took Kumang the time for 3 incense sticks to burn to open up the passageway. "Let's go." Lu Li dashed into the passageway and entered the deserted world. At the deserted world, Lu Li was afraid to let the Earth Immortal Realm warriors out for fear that something might go wrong. He teleported to the passageway to the Serenity Plains with a group of warriors. He waved his hand and told Kumang to open up the passageway. "Young master, let me go." Mingyu was afraid that the passageway to the Serenity Plains was guarded by powerful warriors. He wanted to be the first to explore the way for Lu Li. Lu Li shook his head. He let Lung Wuxin out and asked her to be the vanguard. Lu Li took out some warning jade talismans and gave them to Kumang and Lung Wuxin. Lung Wuxin was the first to rush in. A moment later, a jade talisman in Lu Li's hand cracked. Waving his hand, Lu Li said, "Mingyu, it is safe over there. Let's go." "Kumang, seal off the passageway after we go. Seal off the towering mountain at the Inferno with formations of destruction as well." Whoosh! Lu Li and Mingyu dashed into the passageway and teleported to the Serenity Plains. As soon as they arrived, Lu Li sent out an Earth Immortal Realm warrior from the Wicked Bead. Buzzing, a June family Earth Immortal Realm warrior came out. He looked around in confusion, but did not feel uncomfortable. Lu Li stared at him and asked with excitement, "Uncle 9 of the June family, are you all right? Is there a limit to your strength here?" Uncle 9 of the June family blinked. He mobilized Xian energy and shook his head. "I am fine." "Okay." Lu Li sent out the other Earth Immortal Realm warriors. They were all fine. Both Lu Li and Mingyu were cheered up. Mingyu was confused, but it was not appropriate for him to ask. Lu Li did not try to hide anything. He took the Earth Immortal Realm warriors and Lung Wuxin into the Wicked Bead and explained, "They are all my soul slaves, and they are under my command." "Soul slaves?" "Hiss," Mingyu gasped. Even though he had guessed something, he still found it hard to believe when Lu Li said it out loud. "Let's go." A glint of coldness rose in Lu Li's eyes. He said coldly, "This time, I will make the 4 families pay in blood." "Let's go." Mingyu took the lead and flew out with Lu Li following him. When they were out, they saw a high-level formation of illusion. It must have been built by Lu Ling. That being said, even if there was a formation of illusion, powerful warriors of the 4 families of the Serenity Plains or the Clouds Plains could easily find this place. How come this place was not occupied? Let's go to the nearby cities first. Lu Li used Shrink skill to transform himself into a different person. He put Mingyu into the Wicked Bead, and the bead flew toward the nearby cities. In the time for 3 incense sticks to burn, Lu Li arrived at a big city. Lu Li was familiar with the route to the Central Plains. If the city had not fallen, he could teleport to the coastal city and then to the Central Plains. This was the fastest way. Arriving at the city, Luli used psychic power to check. He didn't see any warriors of the four families, but he could see traces of a fierce battle in the city. Luli put away the bead, transformed himself into a different person using shrink skill, and flew down. He hadn't reached the human sovereign realm yet, but he had reached the peak of the noble lord realm. He was so powerful that he caught the attention of the warriors in the city. The city was not a large one. There were only 2 noble lord realm warriors. Luli flew down directly to the mansion. The 2 seemed to be from the Palace of Sun, and they were Lu Ling's slaves. True family. Lu Li's eyes glowed when he saw the 2. Their slaves were still alive, which meant that Lu Ling was still alive. He shouted at once, "Are you Saintess's slaves?" Saintess? The 2 noble lord realm warriors looked at each other. They bowed and cupped their fists. One of them said, "Lord, we are indeed Saintess's slaves. May I ask who you are?" "I am Lu Li." Lu Li's bones moved, and he changed back to his original appearance. The 2 got down on one knee and said, "State Counselor." "Good." Lu Li was relieved. The 2 were Lu Ling's slaves. She was still alive. P.S. 4 chapters to make up for last week's missing chapters. I found 2 pictures of the Inferno today. I will send them to you later on WeChat. They are artistic and very similar. You can search for the official account Night of Evil on WeChat. He has posted many pictures in the past, such as those of Lu Ling. You can click on the history. Chapter 783. Lu Li asked Mingyu to look around to see if there were enemies in ambush. Then he asked, "What is the situation at the Serenity Plains? Where are the 4 families?" "They have retreated," a phoenix slave answered. "They have gone back to the Central Plains more than a month ago." "Don't you know?" "Retreated?" Lu Li was surprised. The 4 families had made a move. Why did they retreat before they could conquer the deserted world and kill him? Was Xingmu making a move? Lu Li asked, "Why did the 4 families retreat? Do you know what is going on at the Central Plains?" "No." The phoenix slave shook his head and said, "I do not have a high status. I think only the higher-ups of the Empire know. All I know is that the Saintess has gone to the Central Plains, and the Empire is ruled by Lord Tugu." "What about the casualties at the Clouds Plains and the Serenity Plains?" Lu Li couldn't help but ask, even though he knew the situation was dire. "We have suffered heavy casualties." The phoenix slave sighed and said, "Many families of the Serenity Plains and the Clouds Plains were almost wiped out. At least 70% of the Empire's Eternal Realm and Noble Lord Realm warriors were killed or injured, including Lord God of Meng. 5 human Sovereign Realm generals were killed. At least 50 million warriors were killed and 50 to 60 million civilians were implicated. That is more than 100 million. Lu Li clenched his fists, gritted his teeth, and said, "Those bastards. Not only did they kill warriors, they killed so many civilians as well. For families, you have gone too far this time." After some thoughts, Lu Li asked again, "Can we teleport to the Central Plains from the Serenity Plains?" "No." The phoenix slave shook his head and said, "The teleportation formation here is destroyed. We can only teleport to the island of Tranquility from the Shining Cloud City and then to the City of Waters. That is where the Saintess went." "Okay, don't tell anyone else that I am here." Lu Li nodded. Mingyu rushed in like a ghost and reported, "Everything is normal in the city. There are no scouts from the 4 families. Let's go." Lu Li used shrink skill to become another person. He put Mingyu away and went back to the passageway to the deserted world. From there, he teleported to the Clouds Plains and then to the Shining Cloud City. The 4 families had retreated. They didn't run into any warriors of the 4 families along the way. Lu Li had the token of the Empire of Cloud's prowess, so it was convenient for him to teleport. Along the way, many cities had traces of battle, and blood still lingered in the air above the cities. There were even new graves on the hills outside the city. At a glance, they were densely packed and shocking. Lu Li had been pulling a long face. When he arrived at the Soaring Cloud City, he noticed that the entire city had been destroyed. The teleportation formation was newly repaired, and there were almost no people in the city. Only a few thousand soldiers were stationed nearby. Luli still didn't reveal his identity. He took out his token and asked the warriors in the city to activate the teleportation formation. He went directly to the Island of Tranquility. On the other hand, the Island of Tranquility was quiet. This was the territory of the Wei family, a seventh-rank family affiliated to the great Buddhist temple. Last time, Luli was ambushed here. Luli used psychic power to check and found some familiar faces. He had met the new island owner last time. Luli said to a Wei family leader next to him, "Please go and tell him that I am a general of the Empire of Cloud's prowess. I would like to meet you, island owner." Luli handed over his token. The leader went to report and soon came back to show Luli into the castle. Luli saw a middle-aged man with a goat's face. Luli didn't salute. He just nodded. Apart from the Wei family patriarch, no one else was qualified for him to salute. Luli was a stranger to the island owner. He noticed that Luli was at the peak of the noble lord realm and claimed to be a general of the Empire of Cloud's prowess. The island owner cupped his fists and said, "I am Wei Tian. And you are?" "Lu Shui." Luli gave a random name and said, "I am Lu Li's brother, island owner Wei. Do you know the whereabouts of Lu Ling, the saintess of the Empire of Cloud's prowess?" The reason why Luli stayed here was to find out Lu Ling's whereabouts. Once he knew where she was, he could go and rescue her at once. Lu Shui, Luli's brother? Wei Tian frowned. As far as he knew, Luli didn't have a brother named Lu Shui. After some thoughts, Wei Tian said, "A month ago, Lady Lu teleported to the Island of Tranquility with someone and then went to the Central Plains. I haven't received any information about where she went. My status in the Wei family is not high, so I don't know much." Luli didn't know whether Wei Tian was telling the truth or not. He didn't want to expose his identity, so he continued to ask, "Then I want to know one thing. Why did the four families retreat from the Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, and the Northern Desert? Did the demon-slaying hall interfere?" "You don't know?" Wei Tian was doubting Lu Li's identity. He thought about it and said, "The four families retreated because we, the great Buddhist temple, the pavilion of delicacy, the tumulus of universe, the palace of immortals' inquiries, and the Red Lunar issued a joint notice." The pavilion of delicacy? Luli was surprised. The pavilion of delicacy was working together? Didn't Jiang Tianshun and Jiang Wu want him dead? Why would they help him? Wei Tian continued after a pause. "The 12 royal families of the Central Plains have an agreement not to invade the other 8 plains. Not only did the 4 families invade the Clouds Plains and the Serenity Plains of the Northern Desert, but they also implicated many civilians. The other 8 royal families should have worked together to suppress them, but some of the major families are on good terms with the 4 families. They didn't say anything or work together. That is why we issued the notice and forced the 4 families to retreat. Well, this is all thanks to the great Buddhist temple." Luli's questions were answered. The 4 families must have anticipated that the other royal families would interfere when they took Lu Feishue, Bai Xiaoshuang, Madame Yin, and Yi Cha. That was why they took the hostages and forced Luli to save others and die. Luli asked the biggest question in his mind. Island owner Wei, the Grand Master of the Demon-Slaying Hall, stated that he would protect Luli for 10 years. It's not even 10 years yet, and the 4 forces have sent out their armies. Is Grand Master Xing not angry? I don't know about that. Wei Tian shook his head and said, "The Demon-Slaying Hall is top secret. If you want to know, go to my family patriarch." "Okay, thank you, Island owner Wei." Luli knew he couldn't get any more information out of Wei Tian. He cupped his fists and left in strides. It was pointless to ask too many questions now. He had to find Lu Ling and the others first. He left the Island of Tranquility and threw a bag of purple Shin crystals to a warrior to activate the teleportation formation. After a white glare, Luli vanished into the teleportation formation. After a long time, Luli finally felt he had landed. At the City of Waters, he didn't teleport again. Instead, he went directly to the City Master's mansion. The City of Waters was one of the 4 major cities under the control of the Wei family. The City Master here must be at the top of the Wei family. Even if he didn't know where Lu Ling was, he could at least know what was going on at the Central Plains. As long as he could learn the latest military information, he could roughly locate Lu Ling and by Xiuxue. He took out his token and reported to the higher authorities. After the time for 3 incense sticks to burn, Lu Li was taken to a castle in the city master's mansion. Wei Xiong, Lu Li was surprised when he went in. The city master of the City of Waters was Wei Xiong, a patriarch of the Wei family that he once met at the Island of Tranquility. Lu Li called out Wei Xiang's name, which surprised the latter. He checked with psychic power and asked, "You are young Master Lu?" Chapter 784. The fact that Lu Li was taken away by Lung Wuxin was kept a secret. Therefore, nobody outside knew about Lu Li. He never showed up. He didn't even show up when the 4 families attacked the Clouds Plains, Serenity Plains, and the Northern Desert. He didn't show up when Lu Ling came to the Central Plains. Many people thought Lu Li was dead. Wei Xiong was surprised to see Lu Li here, a month after Lu Ling came to the Central Plains. Wei Xiong sighed when he saw that Lu Li was only at the peak of the Noble Lord realm. "Young Master Lu, you shouldn't have come. But I am here," Lu Li answered. He didn't waste time and asked, "Lord Wei, where is my sister? She should be at the Skywheel region." Wei Xiong thought about it and said, 5 days ago, a city at the Skywheel region was under attack. The city suffered heavy casualties. More than 200,000 warriors were killed or injured in the city. In the end, a great patriarch of the Samsara Palace came and stopped them. How is that possible? Lu Li was shocked. Lu Ling was only a dozen people, and there wasn't even one Earth Immortal Realm warrior. How could they kill 200,000? They had been at the Central Plains for a long time. It was a miracle that they were still alive. How could they kill the enemies? Wei Xiong took out a report from his interspatial ring and handed it to Lu Li, who read it. Wei Xiong sighed and said, "Lu Li, your sister's really something. She has been at the Central Plains for more than a month, and she has made 5 moves. Every time, hundreds of thousands of people in the city would die or be injured. She even said that if the Samsara Palace didn't release Lu Li, she would destroy all the forces and families under the Samsara Palace. Now, the hundreds of regions under the Samsara Palace's control are in a state of panic." How? Lu Li was shocked. He shook his head and said, "That is not possible. They don't have Earth Immortal Realm warriors. How can they escape the pursuit of the Earth Immortal Realm warriors of the Samsara Palace? Also, they only have a dozen or so human Sovereign Realm warriors. How can they kill so many?" "You don't know?" Wei Xiong frowned and said, "Lu Li, don't you know that your sister has many walking puppets? Not even human Sovereign Realm warriors can kill them. Only Earth Immortal Realm warriors can." She released several walking puppets on 5 occasions, which resulted in hundreds of casualties in the city. Puppet Beast. Lu Li came to his senses. He once gave Lu Ling a book on how to make walking puppets. That was an ancient skill he found in an underground palace near the Island of Tranquility. He didn't expect that Lu Ling could make it. The Puppet Beast's destructive power was indeed great, especially when there were no allies. The Puppet Beasts could kill as they pleased, and their destructive power was even greater. After tossing the Puppet Beast to them, they only needed to order them to kill anyone they saw, and they could leave. By the way, how did my sister and the others escape the pursuit of the experts of the Samsara Palace? Lu Li turned to Wei Xiong. The Samsara Palace had a group of Earth Immortal Realm warriors. That was the territory of the Samsara Palace. There were scouts everywhere. Would Lu Ling and the others go anywhere? Wei Xiong rolled his eyes, as if saying silently, "Isn't that your sister?" Lu Li explained, "I have been in closed-door cultivation for many years, and I only came out recently." No wonder. Wei Xiong finally understood. Then he said with envy, "One of your sisters has a powerful, profound meaning that allows her to cross the void. She can take a group of people across hundreds of thousands of miles at a time. There is another lady who has a freakish enchantment skill. She can even charm Earth Immortal Realm warriors for a while. Many times, They were surrounded, but they managed to escape. Cross the void? Enchantment? Enchantment. Luli didn't know who the first skill belonged to, but he was certain that it was Bai Qiuxiue. Bai Qiuxiue's enchantment had 3 levels in total. The first level could confuse people, the second could charm the world, and the third could charm immortals and demons. She could even charm Earth and Mortal Realm warriors for a while. It seemed that Bai Qiuxiue had reached the second level. She could charm Earth and Mortal Realm warriors for a while at the second level. Could she really charm immortals and demons at the third level? How powerful could the forbidden skill be? Luli was relieved. At least, they were safe. As for Lu Feixue and Bai Xiaoshuang, he could figure out a way to save them. Young Master Lu, Wei Xiong thought of something else and asked, "Do you know any powerful Earth and Mortal Realm warriors?" Luli blinked in confusion and asked, "I know many. For example, the abbot of the Great Buddhist Temple and Grand Master Xing of the Demon-Slaying Hall." "Lord Wei, why do you ask?" "I'm not talking about the powerful warriors that we know," Wei Xiong explained. "I'm talking about the powerful warriors that have been living in seclusion, unknown to the public. 2 days ago, a strange, powerful warrior showed up at the Samsara Palace. He wiped out a city on his own and killed an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Samsara Palace. That warrior is very mysterious. Nobody knows who he is. I think he is a powerful warrior living in seclusion." Luli was confused. He didn't know any Earth Immortal Realm warrior that was living in seclusion. Was he from the Demon-Slaying Hall? Was he sent by Xingmu? Or was it an Earth Immortal Realm warrior invited by Lu Ling? Either way, it was pointless to discuss here. Luli thought about it and said, "Lord Wei, can you give me a fake ID token? I need to go to the Wheel region at once." Wei Xiong frowned and said, "Young Master Lu, don't be impulsive. You're not powerful enough. You will only be courting death if you go there. Revenge is a dish best served cold." "Ha ha ha." Luli laughed out loud. He waved his hand and said, "Thank you for your warning, Lord Wei. Soon, you will know that the situation at the Central Plains will change after this. More than 100 million of the Northern Desert, Clouds Plains, and the Serenity Plains have lost their lives. This time, I will make the Samsara Palace, the Hades Society, the Pavilion of Blossoms, and the Lu family lose their lives. I will make the 4 forces disappear from the Central Plains." Luli's tone was so bold that even Wei Xiong was frightened. That being said, Wei Xiong felt that Luli was not making empty promises. Luli had the ability. "All right." Wei Xiong called someone over and said something. Soon, a token was sent over. It was a fake token of a big family that had nothing to do with the Wei family. "Lord Wei, I will go to the Wheel region now. Please keep my information confidential." Luli cupped his fists. The Wei family was loyal to the Great Buddhist Temple. Given his relationship with the abbot of the Great Buddhist Temple, the Wei family would not betray him. Luli had disguised himself so that he could sneak into the Samsara Palace. He could hide in the dark and take control of the situation so that he could tear the Samsara Palace apart at the critical moment and save Lu Feixue and the others. Luli teleported all the way over a long distance, which was physically and mentally exhausting, and a lot of Xian crystals. At the moment, Luli had no other concerns. He teleported directly from the City of Waters to a nearby region. He teleported from region to region so that he could reach the territory of the Samsara Palace as soon as possible. The Great Buddhist Temple's territory was at the west of the Central Plains and the Samsara Palace at the southwest. They were separated by more than 100 regions. It would take more than an hour to teleport between regions. It would take Luli at least 10 days to teleport to the Samsara city, even if he didn't have any rest. The Wheel region was not far from the Samsara city. It would take him 1 day at most. Luli's soul was strong. He didn't feel tired, even if he teleported day and night. Thanks to the token of a big family of the Central Plains and a large amount of Xian crystals, the teleportation went smoothly. That being said, after 4 days of teleportation, Luli received a piece of news that stopped him. The news came easily. Everywhere in the city was talking about it. In 5 days, the Samsara Palace would execute Lu Feishue by Xia Shuang, Yi Cha, and by Yin in public. Clearly, Chapter 785. 5 days. Lu Li's face was clouded when he confirmed it. He had only been teleporting for 4 days. At this rate, it would take him at least 6 days to reach the Samsara city. If the Samsara Palace was well prepared and Lu Ling and the others had walked into the trap, by the time Lu Li arrived, it would be too late. Since the Samsara Palace had set up an overt plot, Lu Li believed the other 3 forces would come to help. Powerful warriors from other forces might come as well. By then, the Samsara city would be swarmed with powerful warriors. How could Lu Ling and the others deal with them? One more day? What should I do? Standing in the plaza, Lu Li forced himself to calm down. He did not want to lose his sense of propriety because of impatience, which would make the situation worse. Should he reveal his identity and kill his way over? If he revealed his identity and went with a group of Earth and Mortal Realm warriors, the Samsara Palace would be shaken. By then, the Samsara Palace would have second thoughts. They would not kill Lu Feishue, Madame Yin by Xia Shuang, and Yi Cha. Lu Ling and the others would be informed as well. They would not go to the Samsara city to court death. The thing was, once his identity was exposed, it would be troublesome to save the others. What if the Samsara Palace threatened him with hostages? For example, the Ji family Earth and Mortal Realm warrior brought Lu Feishue to the front. Should he do something or not? Should he surrender by force? I should have gone to the city of Buddha. There were super teleportation formations between the 12 royal cities. The city of Buddha could teleport to the city of mystic armor, the Samsara city, and the city of delicacy. It was too late for regrets. It would take him 7 or 8 days to teleport to the city of Buddha. Lu Li took out a map of the central plains to check. A moment later, he made up his mind. He would teleport for 4 days and arrive at a region 10 million miles to the north of the Samsara Palace. Then, he would take the Wicked Bead and go to the Samsara city. The Wicked Bead was fast, comparable to the middle stage of the semi-god realm. It could cover 10 million miles in 1 day. If he flew to the Samsara city in a straight line, it would take him 3 days at most. But he would be too conspicuous and could alert the enemy. Move! Having made up his mind, Lu Li stepped into the teleportation formation. He showed his token and threw out a bag of purple Xian crystals. Recently, many people were teleporting to the south. Nobody would stop them as long as they had the token of family of the Central Plains and enough Xian crystals. The news that the Samsara Palace would execute by Xia Shuang, Lu Feishue, and the others in 5 days spread throughout the central state in just 1 day. Recently, all the families in Zhongzhou State, big and small, were attracted by the Samsara Palace. Countless scouts were lurking here for information. Lu Ling led a group of warriors into the territory of the Samsara Palace. At first, they thought they were here to court death. Unexpectedly, they not only survived, but also made such a big noise, causing heavy losses to the Samsara Palace. The #1 force in the Central Plains. The prestige of the Samsara Palace was not exaggerated. It was recognized by the Zhongzhou state after countless battles. It was built on countless corpses and exterminated clans. Now someone dared to challenge the authority of the Samsara Palace? Not only did he take the initiative to attack, but he also achieved great results. Not only had the Samsara Palace lost 1 million warriors, but a mysterious expert had also killed an Earth Immortal of the Samsara Palace. But this time, nobody was optimistic about Lu Ling and the others. Unless they didn't go to the Samsara city, they would be doomed. This was because many great clans had found out that the Nether Society, the Lu clan, and the 100 Blossoms Pavilion had all sent their experts to Samsara city. It could be said that there were as many experts as there were clouds in Samsara city. Once they entered, they would definitely not be able to come out. Samsara city. This was a huge city with a history of 700,000 to 800,000 years. The city had a population of more than 30 million. But recently, the population had decreased sharply. Many civilians, average warriors, and their families had been relocated. The Samsara Palace was determined. They seemed to be certain that Lu Ling and the others would go to the city. 80% of the population had been relocated, leaving only a few million warriors. Hundreds of teleportation formations in the city glowed day and night. People were being teleported in and out constantly. The Samsara Palace had 5 or 6 7th-rank families under its control. Powerful warriors from those families were being teleported over. In a small, elegant castle to the north of the Samsara city, many young people gathered. If Luli were here, he would see many familiar faces. Ji Mengtian, Ji Mengyao, Yang Xian, Yang Yu, Lu Xuan, Dai Feiyu were all here. There were also more than a dozen young disciples, all dressed in luxurious robes. 5 years had passed. Many of them had reached the human sovereign realm. Ji Mengyao, Lu Xuan, and Yang Xian had all reached the human sovereign realm. Ji Mengtian was as powerful as a warrior at the later stage of the human sovereign realm. A disciple of a super family was indeed extraordinary. The castle was lively. 4 or 5 disciples of the Ji family of the Samsara Palace were here. Many disciples of other families were here as well. They toasted and toasted in a harmonious atmosphere. Lu Li, Lu Ling, and Bai Qiuxue were the names that came up the most during the conversation. At the moment, Yang Yu was asking Ji Mengtian, Lady Mengtian, do your family have any specific information about Lu Li? I don't think he is a coward. Why did he let a bunch of women come out and hide in the deserted world all by himself? They turned to Ji Mengtian. She thought about it and said, all the spies in the deserted world were killed. But, according to the spies of my family at the island of Tranquility, Lu Li should be here. He is here? Everyone's eyes glowed. Lu Xuan squinted. Yang Xian, Lu Xuan, and Yang Yu could not hide the killing intent in their eyes. Ji Mengyao had received the news long ago. She sneered. Dai Feiyu was a bit uneasy. She hadn't recovered from the trauma Lu Li inflicted on her. She had not reached the human sovereign realm yet. The devil in her heart was affecting her. Okay, Lu Xuan yelled. This time, we must cut this bastard into pieces. He can summon 100 beast kings, but he will not make it out alive. So far, there are no signs of beast kings. Ji Mengtian shook her head and said, this is not for Lu Li. I don't think he will be here so soon. Let us kill Lu Ling by Qiuxue and that mysterious powerful warrior first. Mysterious powerful warrior. Yang Yu frowned and asked, you haven't found out who that mysterious powerful warrior is? Which hermit warrior is he? How can Lu Li and Lu Ling ask for help from such a powerful warrior? I don't know. Ji Mengtian shook her head and said, he only made one move and never showed up again. But it doesn't matter now. I don't care who he is. If he dares to come to the Samsara Palace in a couple of days, he will die. Yang Xian thought about it and asked a critical question. It is said that Lu Ling is cruel and cold-blooded. Will she come in a couple of days? I don't think she will come to court death. Ha. Ji Mengtian shook her head and said, young Master Yang, you are wrong about this. Lu Ling may seem to be cold-blooded, but she is as loyal as Lu Li. She is protective of her family and friends. She values them more than her own life. What is more, Bai Xiaoshuang and Bai Yin are Bai Qiuxue's younger sister and aunt. Bai Qiuxue will definitely come. Lu Ling will come as well. Everything will be clear in 5 days. Okay. Lu Xuan stood up and shouted, I want the twins. They are so beautiful, and they are Lu Li's women. It will be fun to play with them. Ha. P.S. So cold, so cold. My hands are frozen. Typing is so hard. Thanks to Chidian Fan, inspirational brother Jia, for his tips. A few days ago, many readers of QQ Bookstore also sent tips. Thank you. Chapter 786. 5 days passed by quickly. Tens of millions of civilians in the Samsara city had been relocated. Now, there were less than 5 million warriors left. All of them were above the Eternal Realm. Not a single one of them was at the Fate Wheel Realm. The city was under martial law. Nobody was allowed to go in or out. Many noble Lord Realm warriors were patrolling. Not even a fly could sneak in. In the middle of the city was a large plaza with a radius of at least 3 miles. Many warriors were gathered in the plaza. There must be at least 1 million. Among them, 200,000 were at the noble lord realm, and quite a few were at the human sovereign realm. The 1 million warriors gathered in circles, layer after layer. There was a makeshift platform in the center of the circle. 10 large round pillars were erected on the platform, and a person was tied to each pillar with a green iron chain. Lu Fei Xue by Xia Shuang, Yi Cha, Madame Yin by Lung. There were 10 of them. They weren't tortured, but they must have been fed some special drugs. They were pale and weak. They didn't even have the strength to move a finger, let alone use Xian energy. The 10 were hanging on the pillars. They squinted so they could see the entire plaza clearly. They could see the warriors on the plaza and the more powerful warriors lurking around. Mountains of blades and seas of swords. The Samsara Palace was a huge trap. It was easy to get in, but difficult to get out. No, it should be that once they were in, they could not get out. Lu Fei Xue, Yi Cha, and the others could not move or use psychic power. That being said, they could tell how many powerful warriors were lurking around the plaza. Almost all the Earth Immortal Realm warriors of the 4 families were here. Ling Qiu Xue, don't come. Lu Fei Xue moved her lips and prayed. If she could commit suicide, she would have done so. The moment she was captured, she knew this day would come. Lu Fei Xue felt guilty and blamed herself for implicating others. On the second floor of a huge castle to the north of the plaza, a group of powerful warriors gathered together. Lu Xuan, Ji Mengtian, Yang Xian, and Dai Feiyu were all here, but they were standing behind powerful warriors of their families. Master of the Samsara Palace, Pavilion of Blossoms, Master of the Hades Society, and Lu Zhongtan were all here. It was self-evident that the 4 royal family patriarchs had come in person. They wanted to wash away the shame that Lu Li had brought upon them. They wanted to kill Lu Li and all his warriors. He wanted everyone in the divine Great Land to know that the majesty of the royal family could not be challenged. Anyone who challenged him would die. Great-grandfather 5, the great patriarch of the Lu family, was not with Lu Zhongtan. Instead, there was a middle-aged man who looked similar to Lu Zhongtan. Standing next to the middle-aged man were Lu Fenghua and Lu Liantian. This person was the great elder of the Lu clan, Lu Tiandi, who had been in seclusion for a long time. More than a year ago, he finally broke through to the Earth Immortal Realm. Lu Fei Xue, who was Lu Zhengtan's niece, was going to be executed this time. Therefore, Lu Zhengtan didn't dare to bring great-grandfather 5 with him. He only brought his 3 sons and a few loyal elders of the external clan with him. He was afraid that the other elders of the Lu family would cause trouble. Ao Xian, the master of the Samsara Palace, did not appear to be old. He was a middle-aged man with a dignified appearance. The leader of the 100 Flowers Pavilion was a silver-haired old woman with a kind and benevolent countenance. She didn't look like the leader of a royal family at all. Yang Bucheng, the master of the Hades Society, was wearing a black cloak. Only half of his face could be seen. His eyes glowed red every now and then. Many juniors didn't have the courage to look him in the eye. They sat on the second floor in silence. There were several windows on the second floor. They could see what was going on in the plaza. They were waiting quietly, waiting for the moment when the net would be pulled in. Time moved on. They were holding their breaths. They believed that someone would come. At the very least, Lu Ling would come. Whoosh! 2 hours later, a man dashed in. He dropped to one knee in front of Gao Xian and reported, "Master, there are 2 walking puppets at the Luna Destroyer City. They have suffered heavy casualties. Please help." Gao Xian snorted. "Lure the tiger away from the mountain. Let Patriarch 10 and Patriarch 16 go there with some people. I don't need them to kill the walking puppets. I just need them to hold off the walking puppets for one day." There weren't many civilians in the nearby cities. As for the low-level warriors, it didn't matter if some of them died or were injured. The Central Plains didn't have many things except for people. For Gao Xian, low-level warriors were no different from pigs and dogs. Haha. Yang Bucheng, master of the Hades Society, let out a strange laugh, but said nothing. The old lady from the Pavilion of Blossoms smiled as well. The fact that the nearby cities were under attack meant that Lu Ling was here. No matter what they did, their ultimate goal was to save Lu Feishue by Xia Shuang and the others. They only needed to stay here, and Lu Ling and the others would come to their doom sooner or later. Lu Zhangtan sighed. Lu Ling was his grandniece. No matter what the result was, his reputation would not be preserved. What was more, it was shameful for a bunch of old guys to threaten a bunch of young people with hostages. Report. An hour later, another military report came in. Another nearby city was under attack, and 2 puppet beasts had appeared there. Gao Xian was not moved. Instead, he sneered. The more walking puppets Lu Ling sent out, the fewer cards she had. He refused to believe that Lu Ling had an endless supply of walking puppets. He only sent out 2 human sovereign realm patriarchs and none of the earth immortal realm warriors. It was difficult for the 2 patriarchs to fend off 2 walking puppets with a group of warriors. But Gao Xian did not send more warriors. An hour later, another big city nearby was attacked by walking puppets. There were 4 guard cities around the Samsara Palace, and now 3 of them were under attack. Everyone was excited. When the last city was under attack, Lu Ling would come to the Samsara city. Another hour later, 2 walking puppets showed up outside the last city. The 2 walking puppets smashed through the city wall and then began to rampage in the city, killing everyone in sight. The atmosphere in the Samsara city became tense. The fact that 4 satellite cities were under attack was a sign that Lu Ling was going to attack the Samsara city. Soon, a war would break out. Time went by bit by bit. It was already noon, but no one appeared near the Samsara Palace. The millions of soldiers in the city were waiting anxiously, feeling extremely restless. It was 2:45. The space to the south of the Samsara Palace began to tremble. Then, a group of people showed up in midair. The interspatial ring of a beautiful lady was glaring. Then, many huge iron beasts came out. 1, 5, 10. The interspatial ring glowed for 14 times. 14 walking puppets came out and dashed toward the Samsara Palace. The space around that group of people began to tremble. Soon, they vanished on the spot. Boom! For today's war, the Samsara Palace had opened all the city gates. Not even the shield was activated so that Lu Ling and the others could get in. Therefore, the 14 walking puppets smashed through the city wall without any trouble and dashed into the city. Gao Xian and the others had been checking the city with psychic power. They noticed the 14 walking puppets at once. They were surprised. How could Lu Ling have so many walking puppets? Based on her calculations, she had at least released dozens of puppet beasts. They turned to Gao Xian, who waved his hand and said, "Don't do anything. Lu Ling wants us to be in chaos. 14 puppet beasts. I can easily send people to stop them." Someone, Gao Xian shouted, "Ask Great Patriarch to send 2 people to suppress the walking puppets. We cannot let them get to the plaza." Chapter 787. City South was in a state of chaos. Many castles were leveled to the ground. The 14 walking puppets were on a rampage, killing everyone on sight. Over 1 million warriors were stationed there, but tens of thousands had been killed or wounded. 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors and 7 or 8 human Sovereign Realm warriors went over. The situation was stabilized. The 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors smashed away 2 walking puppets. The human Sovereign Realm warriors went over to block the walking puppets. It was impossible for the walking puppets to reach the plaza. Boom, boom, boom. Before the situation at the south was stabilized, the city wall at the north was smashed open and 14 walking puppets showed up. 14 giant steel beasts charged forward, and the army in the north was massacred and rammed to death. How is this possible? Gao Xian's expression changed. They all knew that it was difficult to build walking puppets. Even in ancient times, a major race spent 100 years and consumed a large amount of materials to build over 1,000 walking puppets. How could Lu Ling, make so many walking puppets in such a short time? Even if Lu Ling had endless mystical materials, walking puppets needed many powerful beast souls. Where did Lu Ling get so many powerful beast souls? Could it be that Lu Li had controlled many beast kings and secretly made walking puppets? They had wronged Lu Li. He had not been in the Heaven Reverse universe for the past few years. As for beast souls, there were many beasts of primordial chaos in the Inferno. Beasts of primordial chaos were not intelligent, but they had souls. There were countless mystical materials in the Inferno. Lu Ling could trade with the great Buddhist temple. She was not in need of mystical materials. Boom, before they could figure it out, the city wall at the east was smashed down and 14 walking puppets dashed in. So far, Lu Ling had released more than 100 walking puppets, which made people even more incredulous. They had to react whether they believed it or not. Otherwise, when the city was in chaos, not only would many warriors be killed or wounded, someone might take advantage of the chaos to save by Xia Shuang and the others. Qianlan. Gao Xian turned to Ji Qianlan, an Earth Immortal Realm warrior who waved to him. Lu Zhongtan turned to Chief Patriarch of the Lu family. The old lady from the Pavilion of Blossoms sent out a dark-skinned old man. Flames of war, all of you go and help out. Lu Zhongtan ordered again. Lu Swan, Lu Ni, and Ji Mingtian looked at each other. The young ones all asked for permission. All right, let's go. The four of us will stay here. There were too many undead beasts, and there would definitely be undead beasts coming from the west as well. They had to send out enough experts, and the plaza could not fall into chaos. Apart from Gao Xian and the other three, all the other warriors in the castle went to suppress the walking puppets. Boom! Sure enough, the western wall had been smashed apart, and this time, it wasn't just 14 puppet beasts that appeared, but more than 70. More than 70 puppet beasts galloped forward together, their momentum surpassing that of a magnificent army. When Gao, Xian, and the others checked with psychic power, they were stunned. How many treasures did Lu Ling have? How many powerful Xian beasts did they have to kill to refine so many puppet beasts? Lu Jingtan pondered for a moment, gritted his teeth, and said, "Palace Lord, let me go and suppress the chaos beasts in the west." Lu Zhongtan didn't want to stay here and watch Lu Feishue and the others get killed. Fighting against his own grandniece? He didn't feel good about it. It just so happened that the west needed more powerful warriors. He volunteered to go. The old lady from the Pavilion of Blossoms stood up and said, "Clan leader Lu, let me go with you." Sure. Lu Jingtan and the old lady were both at the later stage of the Earth Immortal Realm. At the very least, the walking puppets wouldn't arrive so soon with them around. Gao Xian cupped his fists and said, "Thank you." Whoosh! Lu Zhongtan and Chief of the Pavilion of Blossoms flew up from the window and dashed toward the city west. At the same time, many human sovereign realm warriors hiding in the plaza swarmed toward the city west. Half of the 1 million warriors in the plaza were sent to reinforce the city west. Gao Xian had given a strict order that the walking puppets must be stopped. There could be no chaos at the plaza. Lu Feishue by Xia Shuang, Madame Yin, and Yi Cha were all taken aback. They had thought that they were doomed. How could there be such a drastic change? So many powerful warriors were going to reinforce the city. They could not use psychic power to check, so they thought that Lu Ling had mobilized a magnificent army to save them. Boom, boom, boom. Explosions were heard from all sides. Miserable cries could be heard every now and then. By Xia Shuang, Lu Feishue, and the others were tied to a pillar. Looking down, they could see that many castles were collapsing. People were everywhere. Dust was rising, covering the sky and the earth. Go, go. Don't come. Lu Feishue's eyes were filled with tears as she murmured. She did not know how Lu Ling did it, but she believed that Lu Ling's team was no match for the four forces. Those were 4 royal families. How many powerful forces did they have? The Samsara Palace itself had 4 or 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. The forces under their control had 3 more. The Hades Society also had 4 or 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. There were too many powerful warriors in the Samsara city. Buzzing right at that moment, the space above the plaza began to tremble. Then, more than a dozen people showed up. Lu Feishue's eyes were filled with despair when she saw them. Sister, Bai Xiaoshuang's eyes were filled with tears. She shook her head when she saw a beautiful lady in a white dress among the group. She was naive and willful, but she was not stupid. Bai Qiuxue, Lu Ling, and the others were no match for the 4 forces. Madame Yin bit her lips so hard that they were bleeding. She said nothing, but the sadness in her eyes grew. She knew Bai Qiuxue's temper. She would not leave now that she was here. There was nothing she could say now. Saint Lord, I am so sorry. Yi Chao was in pain. If Lu Li came back and learned that Lu Ling and the others had died to save them, how could he face Lu Li even if he could survive this? Lu Ling, Bai Qiuxue, Hu Lang, Tu and I, Huan Ni, Liang. Lu Ling had brought all the human sovereign realm warriors with her. On her shoulder was a small beast. Little White was still small, but its eyes were filled with anger and it could not stop screaming. In 5 years, Lu Ling had reached the human sovereign realm. The Fire Phoenix birth must have a unique advantage. Her cultivation speed was fast. Whoosh whoosh, Gao Xian and Yang Buqing flew out. They stood in the sky above Lu Feishue, Bai Xiaoshuang, and the others. Gao Xian looked at Lu Ling. Even though he knew Lu Ling was a stunning beauty, he couldn't help but praise, "What a beautiful woman! Lu Ling, you're the first woman I have ever praised. Even though you are my enemy, I still have to say, you are good." Lu Ling and the others didn't do anything after they showed up. Lu Ling was wearing a light cyan dress. She looked calm, as if this was not a mountain of blades or a sea of flames, but her backyard. She smiled gently, looked around, and said, "Lu Ling is just an average girl. She does not deserve such praise. Palace Master Ji, I have come here with a request. Master Ji, can you let Lu Ling take them away?" Gao Xian sneered and shook his head. "Young Lady Lu, you have killed so many of us. You want to take them away with just one word? Don't you have no respect for us old guys? I don't think you can do that. Will it be enough with us?" A tender voice rang out. 5 black shadows shot over from the northern sky at an extremely fast speed. The 5 of them were all at the Earth Immortal Realm. Chapter 788. 5 years had passed, but Jiang Qiling's looks had not changed much. Lu Ling, Bai Qiuxue, and Bai Xiaoshuang looked the same. They had reached very high realms at a young age, and their lifespans were over 1,000 years. Naturally, they did not age easily. His appearance hadn't changed, but his realm had undergone a shocking change. Jiang Qiling and the other 4 were all at the Earth Immortal Realm. In other words, Jiang Qiling had reached the Earth Immortal Realm. Jiang Qiling was about the same age as Lu Li, in her 20s. However, she had reached the Earth Immortal Realm, which stunned many in the city. Lu Renhuang reached the human sovereign realm at the age of 20 and was regarded as a rare talent that only appeared in 100,000 years. However, Jiang Qiling reached the Earth Immortal Realm at the age of 23 or 24. Apart from the Emperor of Heaven Reverse and the other chosen warriors, nobody would dare to compete with her. Future paragons. Many people thought of the halo above Jiang Qiling's head. Somehow, they could accept the reality. Blessed with divine energy from Emperor of Heaven Reverse, Jiang Qiling had the potential to become a chosen warrior. Her aptitude had always been abnormal. It was just that she had sunk into depravity in the past few years. Now that she was cultivating with all her might, it was somewhat acceptable for her to break through to Earth Immortal in 5 years. Jiang Wua. Gao Xian was surprised to see Jiang Wua standing behind Jiang Qiling. Jiang Wua was the family patriarch of the Jiang family. Shouldn't he be at the front? Gao Xian remembered the notice issued by the great Buddhist temple, the Pavilion of Delicacy, the Tumulus of Universe, the Palace of Immortals' Inquiries, and the Red Lunar. All of a sudden, Gao Xian had a bad feeling. Could it be Jiang Qiling was in charge of the Pavilion of Delicacy? The family patriarch of the Jiang family had become Jiang Qiling. Jiang Qiling flew over, circled around, and came to Lu Ling. Jiang Qiling didn't look at Gao Xian. Instead, she bowed to Lu Ling with respect and said, "Nice to meet you, Sister Ling, Sister Qiuxue." Lu Ling smiled happily. She knew about Jiang Qiling and Lu Li. She nodded and said, "Nice to meet you, Sister Qiling. My brother is lucky to have you as his soulmate." Bai Qiuxue knew about Jiang Qiling as well. She smiled and said, "Hello, Sister Qiling." Jiang Qiling nodded again. She turned to Gao Xian and said, "Master Ji, a month ago, I was officially appointed as the family patriarch of the Jiang family. Now, I represent the Jiang family to negotiate with you. Release these people. Otherwise, the Linglong Pavilion will fight to the death with the four forces." Wow, the crowd was seething with excitement. Jiang Qiling's voice echoed in the city with Xian energy. A girl in her 20s reaching the earth, immortal realm was shocking. He didn't know that the Jiang family would be so crazy as to let Jiang Qiling be the family patriarch. What was even more shocking was that not only did Zheng Wuo and the others not stop her, but they were also going along with her in this madness. The Linglong Pavilion would be doomed if they lost this battle against the four major factions. It was very likely that they would be exterminated and disappear in the long river of history. Had the brains of those old fogies of the Jiang clan been kicked by a donkey? Any big family had a strict system. The family had an elders' hall. If the patriarch went crazy, the elders' hall had the power to dismiss the patriarch. This way, the clan wouldn't fall into a state of eternal damnation because of the madness of the clan leader. Jiang Qiling had always been crazy. She could do anything for Lu Li, which was normal. What was going on with the old farts of the Jiang family and Zhang Wuo? This Ji Mingtian, Lu Xuan, Lu Enai, and Yang Xian were fighting against the walking puppets of the city west. They had all stopped fighting. Everyone's gazes turned to the city, and waves of shock surged in their hearts. Ji Mingtian felt bitter. She had thought that she was fast enough in cultivation, and the title of the most powerful young lady would still be hers. Jiang Qiling's appearance had shattered her wild hope. Not only had she reached the Earth Immortal Realm, she had become the family patriarch of the Jiang family. She didn't even have the right to talk to Jiang Qiling now. Lu Xuan, Lu Enai, Yang Xian, and Yang Yu were filled with jealousy. How could a girl like Jiang Qiling be so crazy for Lu Li, not to mention by Qiuxue and by Xiaoshuang? Lu Xuan and Yang Xian kept asking themselves how they were worse than Lu Li. What was so good about this bastard? Was he worth so many beautiful girls risking their lives for him? Gao Xian laughed with mockery. He turned to Zheng Wuo and another Earth Immortal Realm warrior and shouted, "Zheng Wuo, Jiang Nijuan, are you sure you want to go against the four forces? Think about it. If you lose this fight, the Pavilion of Delicacy will be wiped off the face of the Central Plains." That great patriarch of the Jiang family, Jiang Nijuan, said nothing. Zheng Wuo forced a smile and said, "Qiling is the family patriarch of the Jiang family. I have abdicated. Her decision is the decision of the Pavilion of Delicacy." "Okay," Gao Xian shouted. "Master Xiao, family patriarch of the ghost car, come out." Whoosh, whoosh, 8 people flew out from a castle. 4 of them were average human beings in luxurious robes. They were of different ages, but all of them were at the Earth Immortal Realm. The other 4 were clearly not humans. They were of a special race. The 4 of them were hideous. Their teeth were big, and their foreheads were protruding. They had no hair, and a string of skulls hung on their necks. They looked horrifying and disgusting. Xiao Wanjun, Che the Terror, Zhang Wuo, Jiang Nijuan, and the others were taken aback. Xiao Wanjun was the master of the Life League, and Che the Terror was the family patriarch of the Yiksha race. They didn't know that the 2 forces were involved. The 4 forces had become 6, and the number of Earth Immortal Realm warriors had reached more than 20. Some of the Earth Immortal Realm warriors were fighting the walking puppets, but they could attack Lu Ling, Jiang Qiling, and Jiang Hua at any time if they didn't leave. The atmosphere in the city was tense. A fight could break out at any moment. If Jiang Qiling and the others didn't leave, the 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors of the Pavilion of Delicacy might stay in the Samsara City. "Can you not fight?" A weak voice rang out. Following that, 2 silhouettes flew over from the north. They were 2 bald men. One was a monk and the other was a nun. The monk was old with age spots on his face. The nun was very young, only about 10 years old. However, her face was very delicate, just like a porcelain doll. Coupled with a pair of big watery eyes, it made people feel tender affection for her, and they couldn't bear to hurt her. The old monk came with the nun. They arrived next to Lu Ling, Jiang Qiling, and the others. The nun put her palms together, bowed, and said, "I am Prajna. Nice to meet you. Where's brother Lu Li?" Lu Ling had heard about Prajna. Seeing such a beautiful nun pitted her. She took Prajna's hand and said, "Prajna, this is not a place for you. Go back now. When Luli comes back, I will ask him to go and play with you." "No." Prajna shook her head stubbornly. "You are brother Lu Li's family. How can I not help you when you are in trouble?" The great Buddhist temple was involved, but there was only one Earth Immortal Realm warrior and a nun. Gao Xian was troubled. He turned to the old monk and asked, "Master Wu Xiang, is the great Buddhist temple going against us as well?" "Merciful Buddha," the old monk shouted. He shook his head and said, "The abbot asked me to protect Prajna. I am doing this on my own. I do not represent the great Buddhist temple." "Okay," Gao Xian shouted angrily. "You asked for this. Today, you will all die in the Samsara City. You want to save people with so few of you? You wish. What if I am included?" A thunderous roar rang out, and a golden figure shot over from the south. He had a golden spear in his hand, like a golden god of war. He shot over like a sharp arrow. Before he even arrived, a violent aura of chi and blood had already filled the surroundings. Mystic armor? Or golden? That is the ultimate 9th rank mystic armor. Earth Immortal Realm Warrior? Lu Zhangtian, Lu Tiandi, Lu Fenghua, and Lu Yintian took a look and were taken aback. The golden armor was not a quasi-relic. It was the mystic armor, a bloodline skill of the Lu family. Apart from Great Patriarch and Great Uncle 5, all the powerful warriors of the Lu family were here. Now, there was a strange warrior of the Lu family who had cultivated the mystic armor to the 9th rank. He was the only one in the entire Lu family. Lu Renhuang, who had disappeared for 23 years, finally showed up. P.S. All fans will have free recommendation tickets every day. Please vote for the Eternal Dragon Emperor. Let's kill the god together and dominate the recommendation list. Fight, fight, fight. Chapter 789. The man in golden armor was fast. He came from the distance and arrived at the city south in the blink of an eye. There were 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors from the Samsara Palace at the city south. They saw that there was only one Earth Immortal Realm warrior coming to help. Still, they could not see his face, only his eyes. The 2 looked at each other and flew up, trying to stop the man. Swish, swish, the golden-armored man suddenly thrust his spear forward. The Xian Qi of heaven and earth in all directions was attracted by him and rushed towards him in a frenzy. A white airstream came out from the tip of the spear and spread out like a bolt of lightning, enveloping an Earth Immortal Realm warrior. What happened next shocked everyone. The white airstream enveloped a great patriarch of the Ji family and froze him in an instant. Swish! The man in golden armor did not stop for a second after he stabbed forward with his spear. He was moving forward with indomitable spirit. It was as if he was certain that the white airstream could freeze the enemy in front of him. Bang! The spear landed on the chest of the Earth Immortal Realm warrior. His chest cracked and turned into a mist of blood. The spear pierced through the Earth Immortal Realm warrior's chest. Then, The man in golden armor shook his spear, and the Earth Immortal Realm warrior's body exploded. Minced meat danced around in the air. Retreat. The other Earth Immortal Realm warrior was scared. He stepped back in terror. It was dead silent. One move to kill an Earth Immortal Realm warrior? Had this man reached the chosen warrior stage? The man in golden armor did not stop. He did not go after the Earth Immortal Realm warrior. He dashed forward like a dragon and an elephant. His spirit was growing stronger and stronger, making everyone feel suffocated. It was as if this man was not a human being, but a demon. There was no way to stop him. Anyone who touched him would die. Hiss, hiss, the powerful warriors gasped. They felt the mysterious man was the same as Xing Mu, the Grand Master of the demon-slaying hall. He was like a ferocious beast from the ancient times. How could an average Earth Immortal Realm warrior have such a strong spirit? Drip, drip. Lu Ling stared at the man who was coming at her. Tears fell down from her eyes and danced in the air. The man was wearing a golden armor that covered his entire body, leaving only his eyes visible. But Lu Ling recognized him right away. This man's appearance was already engraved in his bones. Not to mention wearing armor. Even if he turned into ashes, she would still be able to recognize him. Lu Feishue's tears poured down like a flood. She had taken a medicine and could not use her Xian energy. Her whole body was extremely weak, and it was difficult for her to even move a finger. But at this moment, she somehow mustered up the strength to open her mouth and yell, "Brother!" The word brother was filled with endless longing, endless grievances, and endless joy. The word big brother caused countless people to tremble. Countless people's expressions changed greatly, and countless people revealed fear in their eyes. Lu Renwang, from the moment he was born, he was as dazzling as the blazing sun. After he began to cultivate, there was no one in the same generation that could match up to him. No one could cover up his radiance. He was the #1 genius in the Central Prefecture in the past 100,000 years. He was known as the genius who had the highest chance of breaking through to become a heaven's chosen one. He had returned in glory after disappearing for 23 years. He killed the Earth-level deity of the Ji family in a second. His qi and blood were as powerful as dragons and elephants, suppressing all the overlords present. The Emperor of Men. That was the word that popped up in many people's minds. That word represented Lu Xingyang's high hopes for his son. Lu Renhuang was the perfect embodiment of the word. Wearing a golden armor and holding a golden spear, Lu Renhuang stood proudly in midair. He was like a supreme king, and no one could compete with him. Hearing Lu Feishue's cry, the middle-aged man trembled. He turned to Lu Feishue. The armor on his face disappeared, revealing a handsome face that had experienced many vicissitudes. His eyes were filled with love. After he nodded, he looked at Lu Ling like a sharp arrow. They looked at each other. Lu Ling could no longer hold back her tears, and they were gushing out. "Father, father!" Even though Lu Ling had tried her best to control her emotions, her voice was trembling. Her beautiful face was filled with mixed emotions. There was longing, hatred, grievance, joy, and endless love. "Good girl." For the first time, Lu Renhuang spoke. His voice was low, but it was sonorous and magnetic. He stared at Lu Ling for a while. With pride in his eyes, he nodded and said, "My daughter is excellent. Linger, I am proud of you." Lu Ling smiled at his words. She was weeping like a pear blossom. Over the years, she had suffered so much and suffered so much. She felt it was all worth it to hear this from Lu Renhuang. Bai Qiuxue and Jiang Qiling stared at Lu Renhuang with mixed feelings as well. Luli was like Lu Renhuang, but Lu Renhuang was more domineering, like an unsheathed sword. Lu Li, on the other hand, was more like a sword in a sheath, more restrained. Lu Li's status was unknown. Bai Qiuxue and Jiang Qiling were worried. They hadn't been officially married by Lu Li yet, so they didn't know how to greet him. Lu Renhuang glanced over to Bai Qiuxue and Jiang Qiling. He nodded to them. Then, he turned to Jiang Wuwa. He smiled but said nothing. In the end, he turned to Ji Ao Xian. Killing intent surged out from him. He slowly lifted his spear, pointed at Gao Xian, looked around, and said, Gao Xian, Yang Buqing, Che the Terror, Xiao Wanjun, Granny Butterfly, Lu Zhongtan, you are all famous warriors in the world for decades or even 100 years. You are so shameless just to kill my son and daughter. Come on, cut the crap. I will fight the 6 of you by myself. Whoosh, Lu Renhuang flew up to the sky. He stood there with his spear in his hand. He shouted, How dare you bully my children? Today I, Lu Renhuang, will wipe out 6 of your families. What? Millions of warriors in the city felt their blood boiling. They had forgotten about the threat of the walking puppets around them. They stared at the sky in a daze. They couldn't even breathe as they stared at that arrogant man. 1 man against 6 family patriarchs, and 1 man to wipe out 6 families? Whether he would succeed or not, Lu Renhuang's courage was unparalleled. Lu Renhuang was merely in his 40s. The family patriarchs of the 6 families were all senior warriors who had reached the Earth immortal realm many years ago. Any one of them could be renowned at the Central Plains. It was already impressive enough that he could defeat one of them. But Lu Renhuang was going to fight all 6 of them by himself? Alas, Jiang Wu looked at the man in the sky and his confidence. Jiang Wu felt a tinge of sadness. Lu Renhuang had been superior to his generation since he was born. During the years he was missing, Jiang Wu had reached the Earth immortal realm. Jiang Wu thought that he had surpassed Lu Renhuang. However, at this moment, Jiang Wu realized that he was wrong, very wrong. Jiang Wu would never be able to catch up with Lu Renhuang in this lifetime. A man like Lu Renhuang was the chosen one, the favored one. He was destined to have a meteoric rise, and no one could compete with him. Ha ha ha. Gao Xian laughed out of anger. Lu Renhuang's arrogance had enraged him. He felt uncomfortable being suppressed by Lu Renhuang. Since Lu Renhuang was courting death, of course, he would fulfill his wish. Gao Xian, Xiao Wanjun, Che the Terror, and Yang Buqing looked at each other. The 4 of them flew up. Over at the city west, Granny Flower of the Pavilion of Blossoms, the kind smile on her face disappeared. She flew up with a gloomy face. Lu Zhongtan didn't go up. Instead, there was a glint of panic in his eyes. He watched his nephew grow up. Lu Renhuang had disappeared for more than 20 years. Since he dared to come out, he must be confident that he could win. Chapter 790. Boom, boom, boom. The fight had begun in the sky. 6 people flew to the city west in a blur to avoid hurting their own people. Charge! The Life League and the Yiksha race were not going to sit back and watch since their masters and family patriarchs were fighting. At this point, there was no turning back. Either Lu Renhuang and the others were all killed, or the 6 forces would be utterly defeated. Squeak, squeak, Little White could not wait any longer. It dashed toward an Earth immortal realm warrior of the Yiksha race. Little White was as fast as lightning. In an instant, it had reached an Earth immortal realm warrior of the Yiksha race. Little White opened its mouth and was about to tear off his arm. The Earth immortal realm warrior generated a shadow of his fist and smashed Little White away. But Little White rolled over on the ground and dashed toward another Earth immortal realm warrior. Charge! A red quasi-relic armor appeared over Jiang Qiling's body, and a red sword appeared in her hand. The black mark on her neck glowed, and many soul feast butterflies flew out. Now, Jiang Wu shouted and released his soul feast butterflies as well. The other 3 followed him and dashed toward the Life League like 5 arrows. Charge! Lu Ling shouted. She and Bai Qiuxue dashed toward the Earth immortal realm warrior of the Yiksha race. The other human sovereign realm warriors spread out and dashed toward the army. Their target, of course, was Bai Xiaoshuang and Lu Feixue. They were going to kill their way into the army and save the 10 hostages. Can you not fight? My master said it is not good. Prajna frowned and said in a soft voice. She saw 2 Earth immortal realm warriors coming from City West. After some thoughts, she made up her mind and said, Don't come over or I will have to fight. The old monk of the great Buddhist temple followed Prajna. The two Earth Immortal Realm warriors from the distance sneered. This nun was only at the Noble Lord realm. How could she say she wanted to fight? But the two Earth Immortal Realm warriors knew that Prajna enjoyed a high status in the great Buddhist temple. One of them made a feeble move, trying to smash Prajna away. Amipa, the old monk behind Hanya, chanted a Buddhist name. The space before his mouth began to fluctuate like ripples as they surged over. The two Earth Immortal Realm warriors frowned. Although the soul attack was not strong, it was not weak either. They had to deal with it first. The old monk struck out with his palm, dispersing the Earth Immortal's palm print. However, the shockwave still forced Hanya to take a few steps back. You are bad people. Hanya is going to attack you, Hanya said angrily. Her body suddenly lit up, and a black mark appeared on her neck. Shortly after, black and gold silkworms flew out. A total of 27 black silkworms flew out like 27 arrows. Chi-chi, those black silkworms quickly spat out silk. The silk was black and golden in color. It emitted rays of divine light and interweaved with each other, forming a huge net that trapped the two Earth Immortals. Amiba, the old monk behind Prajna, shouted the name of Buddha again. The two Earth Immortals wanted to attack the net, but their souls were attacked by the old monk. They had to deal with the soul attack first. The two of them did not sense any life-threatening danger, and neither did they believe that the net could bind them. Wait a minute. Soon, they came to their senses. This was not an average net. There was a surge of mysterious energy in the silk. As soon as the silk entangled them, the mysterious energy surged into their bodies and suppressed their Xian energy. Xian energy was the source of a warrior's strength. Without Xian energy, no profound meaning could be released. The two of them used their bloodline skills. One of them used a 7th-rank bloodline skill, the golden knife, and the other used a 6th-rank bloodline skill, a beast shadow. The two tried to shred the silk with their bloodline skills so that they could regain their freedom. But they had underestimated Prajna's silk. The black and golden glow on the silk was strong and unbreakable. Prajna put her palms together and said apologetically, "I'm sorry. I will not hurt you. Just don't move." Ah! From the distance came some miserable cries. The two Earth Immortal Realm warriors took a look and were stunned. The situation at the plaza was completely one-sided. It was not Lu Ling's side, but the Six Forces. Little White had attached itself to an Earth Immortal Realm warrior. Half of the Earth Immortal Realm warrior's body had been gnawed off. The Earth Immortal Realm warrior kept stabbing at Little White with his dagger. But every time the dagger bounced off. Little White's body was like a piece of cold iron that could not be stabbed. On the other side, Jiang Qiling and Jiang Wua had released many Soul Feast butterflies. They took the lead, and the butterflies covered up an Earth Immortal Realm warrior. Then, 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors from the Pavilion of Delicacy fended off the other warriors of the Life League. Jiang Qiling and Jiang Wua killed an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Life League in one move. What shocked the 2 Earth Immortal Realm warriors even more? Lu Ling and Bai Qiushue. Lu Ling was at the Human Sovereign Realm, and Bai Qiushue was only at the Noble Lord Realm. But the two of them had killed an Earth Immortal Realm warrior of the Yiksha race. At the moment, the Yiksha race Earth Immortal Realm warrior was on fire. He howled in pain in midair. It was a tragic sight. In one move, 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors had died and 2 were trapped. On Lu Ling's side, 2 Human Sovereign Realm warriors had died. The rest were still advancing. They were only several miles away from the hostages. Millions of warriors in the city and many Human Sovereign Realm warriors were dumbfounded. Of the 6 forces, there were hundreds of Human Sovereign Realm warriors and more than 20 Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Half of them were occupied by the walking puppets. But the Earth Immortal Realm warriors in the city couldn't be so useless. Those 2 women are so good. Many people didn't see it, but some saw how Lu Ling and Bai Qiushue killed the Earth Immortal Realm warrior. Bai Qiushue glowed. In an instant, she became a goddess from heaven. Many people were attracted to her, and their souls were taken away. the Yiksha race warrior that was charging toward her, and Lu Ling lost his soul. Then, from Lu Ling's body came out a red glow. A fire phoenix flew out, and soon, the Earth Immortal Realm warrior was burned to death. Enchantment and fire phoenix flames. The two worked together perfectly. The enchantment enchanted the Earth Immortal Realm warrior, while Lu Ling used the fire phoenix flames born of fire phoenix to burn the Earth Immortal Realm warrior to death. Squeak, squeak, Little White kept squeaking and dashed toward another Earth Immortal Realm warrior. Little White's defense was so strong that average Earth Immortal Realm warriors could not hurt it. When Little White got close, its beak could bite through even quasi-relics. Not to mention the Earth Immortal Realm warriors. Charge! The 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors on Jiang Qiling's side charged toward the 3 Earth Immortal Realm warriors of the Life League fearlessly. Soulfeast butterflies were too ferocious. What was more, Jiang Qiling and Jiang Wu were working together, and the 3 from the Pavilion of Delicacy were working together. It would be a piece of cake for them to crush the Life League. Charge! Lu Ling shouted. Together with Bai Qiuxue, she dashed toward the Yiksha race warriors. Lu Renhuang, fighting against 5 Earth Immortal Realm warriors on his own, had relieved them of a lot of pressure. Lu Ling believed that as long as Lu Renhuang could hold on for an hour, they would have complete control of the city. All Earth Immortal Realm warriors, forget about the walking puppets. Go and kill Jiang Wu and the others. An angry shout came from the sky outside the city. Gao Xian had been paying attention. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.